We're waiting for you, Edith.
Well, first,
Nice to see you.
yes, thank you. Thank you to everybody for being willing to move this meeting to Tuesday for me so that I can go to Eric's ROTC base camp graduation this
right.
weekend. So I really
Right.
appreciate that. So why don't we stand up for the pledge and we'll get going. Edith, do you want to start?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We don't have anybody on Zoom, do we?
Just us.
Just everybody in the room. And were the minutes cool with everybody? Did everybody get a chance to look at them? Everything hunky dory?
Thank you, Ken, for those.
Do we need to have a motion to approve them?
Yes.
I motion.
There you go, Megan.
Second.
All
Third.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, all opposed? Any opposed? Okay, so anybody privileged to the floor? Anybody want to share about anything? About anything? Okay, report of the development office, Shauna.
So I will be doing my training for you next month. We have a bunch of new applications in yesterday, so you will be seeing a few of them. Just to let you know that the 2 solar projects that came in, potential sketch plans, were reviewed by the Ag Committee and determined that they are actively farmed and prime farmland. So that's good. And that hopefully the planning board will not even entertain looking at them. So I just wanted to let you all know that because they're pretty big pieces.
Huge pieces.
Yep, I did meet on site with Aura Solar, if you'll remember, that's the site by the fair. They are actually now AMP Energy, they're based in Alaska, so they were here doing a site visit to meet. They were doing all their, site visits in New York, they own quite a few. So I met with them last week and on site, and they're gearing up to start September, start construction.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, Pierce Brook, as you've probably seen, is under construction. And they're planning to have the road down by the end of August.
Does everybody know what
Pierce Brook is a
Oh, the
subdivision.
new
off of
townhomes across from the senior.
Miller Park, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just up to the creek, right? Or is the road all the way through in this phase?
It's not all the way through. It's up to the creek, actually to the culvert crossing.
Okay.
All of the, we walked the site, all of the trees along the riparian zone of the stream are dead. Most, not all, but enough of them, so they're gonna be replaced, and I'm hoping with a plan to actually keep them alive this time. Because I think they were planted and
Oh, I see.
that was
Neglected, yes.
yeah.
The water bag.
Then they're
Right,
bad.
I said, what about water bags? Oh, yeah.
It would have been a great.
Yeah, like,
Those
yeah.
weren't small trees either.
no, they were nice.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
not
really
all of
funny.
them died, that's kind of a sweeping statement, but a lot of, many
Majority.
of them died, yeah, so.
That
That's
was the
right.
whole thing to like help stabilize
Mhm.
everything
Yeah.
how they constructed and stuff.
That happens a lot. When
It
trees are
does.
planted that they don't make it.
They
Like those
don't.
2 sticks we have out in our yard
Well,
there.
that was another, yes, that was deer rub. They
I
needed
don't know if
protection
those
from
are
it.
ever gonna do
Oh, they're-
anything.
They'll,
You think
they'll
so?
make it. They're
protected now, right?
protected
So-
Oh
now.
my
They'll
goodness.
make it now. Yeah, the water bags were very important. this
They
year.
are.
It is, it
Mhm.
was a dire summer for it.
Right.
Yeah, so.
I know that, is it 7 counties that have been declared drought? I don't think Ontario was.
So we're on, no, on
Almost
everything
there, on a lot.
west of us is, yeah.
The little microburst helped us, I guess, last week.
Yeah,
The Parks Department's done a great job, the 2 young men that work for the Parks Department.
they're great.
Have done a great job
They
at putting
have
water bags out at the
super
parks
job,
I've been
yeah.
to.
Mhm, Sam and Andy, they are amazing. Yeah, they're really
They
good.
are a great asset.
They're a
They
good
are
team.
just Super, yeah.
Yeah,
They've
Yeah.
done a terrific job. They've repaired years worth of damage.
Mhm. yeah, they're great.
They're really good.
I'm sure I have more, but we have a lot happening in the department right now. Center Point apartments are under construction. Well, the site work for phase 3 started last week.
I'm right nearby there.
Yeah.
seen it,
At the big mountain on dirt. Mhm. Yeah,
Did the project manager finally figure out what it was for?
this is so funny. Doug almost spit his coffee out when I told him that. The manager of the apartments of Center Point Apartments called me and said, there's something going on the corner of Brickyard and Yerkes.
I'm sorry.
That's the phase, that's the next part of your
Your
complex. Like,
Oh, brother.
I didn't even know what to say. I'm like, what? Right, I'm like,
my favorite
that's your
story.
part, those are yours.
My new favorite story.
Anyway, so yeah, that's what I have today.
Did they approve of it?
Oh, God.
The last one to know.
Right.
Crazy.
Anything else? Sean?
No, that's
Okay.
it.
I don't believe we have any referrals from the town board or the CIC or ordinance. So I guess we can go straight into our PRC.
Although with the CIC, the ECB is on the next agenda.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes, thank you for remembering.
we have to
that.
talk about being able to say something intelligent in 2 weeks at
Do you want
CIC.
to
The
talk about that
16th
under new business or you want to chat about that now?
We could talk about it now, if that's all right. It's just really a brief update of what the ECB's been up to, and it might be a good time to,
What is it? It's September.
it's the 16th.
August
nine.
16th,
Oh,
It's the
August
CIC
16th.
meeting. Yeah.
CIC.
Anybody want to go or you guys want me to go?
I'm
Pat's on
already
the
there,
board.
but we were talking about inviting conservation.
Yeah, we're gonna
easement
invite the
team also.
conservation easement team. So they're new, so they'll probably have the most to kind of update us on.
What day in September?
It's it's
Tuesday.
actually on August. It's a
In
Tuesday, in
August.
2 weeks.
In 2
Oh.
weeks, yeah.
Yeah, August
Oh.
16th. You can also Zoom. It's at 9 o'clock.
They're reworking my schedule at the liquor store, so let's see.
It's 9 AM, so that's good.
Oh, that is
Tuesdays at
true.
9 AM, we're not terribly busy over there.
Well, no, they've never given me a consistent schedule. I was
Ah.
always their flex person, so now they're
Ah.
finally giving me actual days off that I
Oh,
can
nice.
schedule
You can
things
count on.
for.
Tough boss over there.
I know, they're so evil.
What's the date again?
The 16th of
Tuesday.
August, Tuesday at 9.
9 AM.
Mhm.
Do you guys want me to lead that? Does someone who's a member of the committee want to lead that, or how would you like that?
I guess it's just kind of tell the CIC, which is like all of 3 people that are there at the
I know,
meeting.
right. I've been to several of them, so.
What we're up to. I mean,
Yeah.
we've been we've been reviewing our projects, environmentally minded, but maybe talk about what the plan we have to have our event that we're
Yeah,
working on
That's a good
that,
idea.
you know,
Yeah.
tell them that that's something we've got going,
Mhm.
coming soon. I don't really know what else to say. I mean, we do what we have always done.
Mhm.
I think it would be a good time to reiterate the work that you do and the reviews that you do and the importance of them.
Mhm.
I don't think that you can really, I think you can,
Contributions to the
Mhm,
newsletter
absolutely.
and
Yeah.
that sort of
the
thing.
website,
Mhm.
I think that's important.
We talk about plans for the future, or they just wanted to update what has been done?
It's an update of what's been done so far.
It's
Mhm.
kind of like progress on, honestly, the CIC wrote the comp plan, so I also look at it as progress on the comp plan goals, as well, which is one of the reasons why we chatted about that
Right,
last month to see where we were, where we were going and making sure that if we have goals out there, that we're paying attention to them.
right, which, I mean, we
So-
keep coming back to
So-
these are our strategic goals
Yeah.
for the year,
Mhm.
which come right from the comp plan.
I guess we have maybe a week to think about what will be said, who will be saying it. If anyone wants to chime in through emails to one another, probably wouldn't hurt, right?
Yeah, let me know if anybody, I mean, I'm happy to give that
Yeah.
report. I can go to that meeting. But if if anybody else would rather do that or like to be there.
Well, is it a venue where you would discuss relationship with the other boards and committees?
It could be.
Kind of thinking about ZBA, looking at some of our critiques of recent projects. And it, I think,
Sounds like you want to be there.
well, maybe not that venue particularly, but I think it was, I guess, didn't seem very respectful of what we've done on some of these projects in terms of.
I can tell you that I've had discussions with town board members about our committee frustration,
Okay.
so.
Yeah,
So that, I
We have
mean,
an agenda item coming up too.
yeah.
yeah,
that
that's
is-
related to that.
Okay, okay.
But I
I'm
mean,
premature,
yeah, no,
sorry.
I'm always glad when information comes from somebody other than me. So that people don't think that it's, just my own personal agenda on something,
Sure.
but I'm,
Yeah.
I think that's, yeah, I mean, the CIC is an opportunity to talk to a group of people. Their primary goal is just making sure that our town is focusing on our comp plan and what we should be focusing on, and sharing that information up and down. And it's like a communication venue between all the different committees. Nobody really has oversights of the board,
And that
other than
before
the
they-
town board, really, so.
Yeah.
Which
Myself
doesn't even have
personally,
full
no.
oversight of the boards
No,
either.
because that Joyce was always.
So, but that's,
Sure.
if that, I hope that answers your
But you're always
question.
welcome there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, and
Yeah.
and it might have
Giving you
been a
points,
topic
no.
better for the joint board meeting that I attended
that
virtually,
I
but
can't,
the agenda was pretty full, I guess.
I think the topic would absolutely be relevant.
Maybe
I
a couple
really
of us
do.
can
I
say
think
something,
we're-
maybe.
It's being
We'll see.
discussed. It's an issue.
Mhm. Okay, well,
Kim has a really good memo that she's gonna share.
yeah.
And
okay.
it's been brought to the attention of the town board, the town manager, myself, we're all really aware of what's happening right now.
Mhm.
And just so you know, I was at that last CBA, and
Yeah.
kind of let them know where
Yeah.
the ECB
Good.
stood,
Yes, you did.
reiterated our
Absolutely.
claims and concerns
right.
about. I'm obviously not the decision maker there, but I,
Mhm.
hopefully as a town board member and facilitator of the ECB, my presence was at least
Sure.
noted.
Yeah.
So-
Is there any tracking of what percentage of the
Variances are.
approaches of the variances that are held up? by
We're
the-
actually
Funny you
gonna
should
start that.
ask.
Eric and I are gonna work with Jean Crispin on that, so.
Actually, I
find
went through
that-
the last 2
Zoning-
years.
zoning
Oh,
board
did you?
approval.
Yes, well, see, that's where things can founder.
So, yeah,
Yes.
last meeting that where you were
I was
roaming with
gone.
Buffalo.
Yes. I
Or
was.
bison. We discussed, one of the comprehensive plan measurable goals was how many variances have been granted. And so we talked about that for a little bit, and we had some committee members who were willing to help Shauna and her not enough staff to start working on
There's a
that.
pack for everyone.
And
There's
so
the
Eric in
fancy
particular, and I
Oh,
think
it's-
Megan, you
it's a
also
number of
indicated an
documents.
interest in helping
There you
with that a
go.
little bit
Yeah.
too, so.
So I'm also, can I ask, so if other boards been upset that we don't grant as much leeway, is that what I'm hearing? or
Oh,
is it
no,
something
no,
else?
no,
Okay,
no.
No, it's an overabundance of granting of variances from the code.
okay, so I was wondering if other people were like confused as to why we were doing that. Okay, never
No,
mind.
it's a disregard, I would say.
Okay, that I get, yes.
And it seems like
Is
they're
this-
being utilized now as precedent to-
Exactly.
There's a couple of documents, they're all
theories.
grouped together.
Yes.
I don't know what I did
We're
here.
doing this now?
Well,
I
We
took
don't
here,
have
you
to
can
do
have that,
but
because that's
We were
two.
talking about various.
Yes.
Memo cover sheet.
Do we not have enough?
Oh, there should be enough.
There's a whole
Oh,
bunch
oh.
of them,
Yeah, the
right?
packet.
Why
Yeah,
don't
just
we-
take a packet.
Oh, it's a
yeah.
whole packet.
It's a
Yeah,
whole big old
yes.
packet.
Just take the packet.
I don't even know if I grabbed this right. Did
Gotta be
you get
processed.
all your
Yeah, I got all
documents?
mine.
There should be a
Okay.
memo as the top document.
Alright.
So the
Okay.
first document looks like this, It says memo,
Memo
cover
cover
sheet.
sheet.
I think
and
they're all
the-
folded like
Follow
sideways. to
up.
The last
distinguish where
one
they
is-
sit.
Sarah Linda.
Okay, got it.
the last
many
one,
total?
It says
Four?
Sarah Linda on the last one.
Yes, okay.
Four?
There are, okay, got it.
4 staples and then there's a single sheet in there. So it's
One,
five.
two, 3, 4, and then a single sheet.
And
that
Sarah-
says follow-up.
And Sarah Linda Hooker is the last piece.
Well, get rid of there,
Okay.
Well, thank you.
I'm tired, it's been a long day.
Sorry, Pat. We're giving too many meetings.
Long day.
By the way, at that same last ZBA meeting, Sarah Linda Hooker did give a really impressive, well-detailed discussion.
Thank you.
Her
which I'm
letter is in
guessing-
this packet.
Yeah, it's the last part of your packet where she went through all of the 5 different tests for granting area variances, and it was like attending a master's level class on how to talk to the ZBA. I felt very unworthy after her presentation.
She's talked in front of a lot of different
Uh-huh.
people.
Yeah, she did a great job. So that,
A long time coming too.
yeah. But it's a great, I mean, it's really a well organized, and clear representation of,
But if you
why the
want
project
to
didn't
talk
work,
about
so.
the variances granted, I did put a spreadsheet together from just the minutes. I did
Oh,
from
okay.
Gene's log.
Great.
Just did it from the minutes, and I put down all the ones that the ZBA had reviewed. And for 2 years, so I went from July of this year through to 2020. And then I have us in another column, and the green means it was approved or granted, and red means, we advised against or they denied it. And you can see where we're pink or red, whatever you like to call it, and they're green a lot. So,
Yeah.
and I did put together a few numbers. So there was 25 applications that we reviewed in common. There's 3 that we were in agreement or partial agreement. There's 3 we made comments but didn't advise against. There's 16 where we advised against and they approved. There's 1 where we approved and they denied it, and then there's only 1 where we both agreed on denying.
I'm wondering if we should, someone other than me, because I'm on the town board, if we should have a moment during a town board meeting where we present some preliminary information, or at least let them know that we're starting this. I don't know.
Well, I figured the memo would go to them.
It will, but it might have more eyes on it if it was spoken about verbally at the meeting as well.
So the ZBA will defer decision on some of these and people will come back with modifications and then they grant. Is there a way
Well,
of,
there's a
how often does that happen?
continuing,
Right,
So some of these are noted that they continue.
okay.
But then you'll see them later on, so I noted if they granted a continued one or not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Or
they
denied
come
it.
back, we see them again.
right.
And
right.
so we have an opportunity to
Mhm,
issue advice again.
mhm.
Also, on the ones that we gave recommendations, if they change things, do we know if they actually change those things before granting them?
I didn't do.
Okay, no, I know, it's a lot of
I
work.
just pulled together the general top sort of level. Definitely more work would need to be done if you really want to dig into it.
Shauna, maybe you could address this better, but I think generally, rather than necessarily changing things, things are more explained or, they're given more reason for a choice that was made in a lot of
Sure.
cases.
Right.
So they're given, if a choice was made that to us seems like it might not be the best house siting or tree removal strategy or whatever it may be, they might give some sort of answer back to that as to why they made that choice that explains why they still think that's the best choice. I think that. might be more
Absolutely. And
typical.
it's almost as if they're answering your concerns at the meeting.
Mhm.
Yeah, Yeah.
Okay, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, going to. a
whether they're
ZBA meeting
justified or
is
not, or, yeah.
A good idea too.
yeah.
I would check out at least one at some point if there's a project that you see is concerning to any of you.
Are the folks that are normally on the project, are they there for these? Because that's always a little more
Yes,
pressure when the folks are
Absolutely.
present.
They're
Yeah.
always there.
Yeah,
Sometimes
it's
they're there,
worthwhile.
the lawyer's
You can
there.
look at the
Yeah.
you can look at the ZBA video And I
Yeah.
did actually after, I could think seeing you, and it's eye-opening. I mean,
It
it just,
is.
kind of defying logic. Well, no, a smaller house will not change the setback at all.
Yeah.
Of course it would. It's just some kind of bizarre statements. It came out and, yeah, I think it's worth a look at. But anyhow,
People love going through cognitive
This is
loops to
great.
make things make
Yeah,
sense.
so
Mhm.
definitely more data would need to be,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
dug through for this, but. You know, just looking at how many times we said no, you know. Respect the setback or whatever we said, and then they granted it anyways, so.
it's great. Thank you for doing this.
Oh,
Yeah,
sure.
that's a
Taking the
great-
time.
Yes,
I mean,
yes, it's super.
But that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. I mean, do you or would anybody else? I mean, I'm honestly thinking this might be something, even at this phase, to just let the town board know, we've started this because we were concerned and this is the direction we're seeing in our early preliminary work on this. I don't know if,
Mhm. I think it would be.
Yeah, and I also,
it's not something that I really can do
No,
because I'm
no.
sitting there.
Right. I
So-
can do it in my report. I've been
Okay.
speaking with Doug about this. I'll do it in my monthly report,
Okay,
which I'll be doing Friday for the town board. I think it would probably be better if it came from me since I staff this board.
yep,
So,
that's fine.
Thank you.
mhm, and I can attach this if we want, if we're ready. If you want to review it during the
Well-
week, let me know.
I
But I
figured
can,
people might have input.
Mhm.
so we could at least let him know that this is coming,
And
if we want to do that.
I would like it if you could at least verbally address it. Are you planning to go to the town board meeting? Okay.
yeah.
If you could at least bring it up
Yep.
in your,
Yeah, during
Your
my
report
report.
period.
Uh-huh, absolutely.
that would be great.
It's
Yeah.
best to, best to be on board. If this is gonna be a process. It's best to be on board and be honest about it.
Mhm,
So, you know,
Yes.
people don't assume.
right.
Transparency is
Absolutely.
always best.
Yeah.
And it also speaks to the issue of some of the ordinances just not being realistic, as we talked about. So it's
Well,
not just.
and that's why I'd like to have it being spoken about, because a lot of people are not reading the 250-page, town board agendas. But if you at least bring it up verbally, then the people in the room or observing might go, wait a minute, this is the ECB is concerned about. That's a great way to let people know that we're concerned about it. So that's, I think that's the best way to bring it to people's attention, so that they know it's of concern.
There were comments about trees. What the comments said?
Oh,
We
my
spent too much time talking about trees. Cut them down or plant them.
goodness. They-
And grass is better than trees.
Yes.
Grass
Grass
does
is
a better job.
Grass is better than trees.
Yes, they were real actually dismissive about trees in general. And trees don't just mean trees, so this is a mature woodland, It's like you've got all the forest layers there, but it was
Ecosystem.
it's a whole
It
ecosystem.
absolutely is.
So they're just focused on, the ECB comments were, concerned about all the trees being cut down. It's like, okay, we're cutting down a lot of trees. And so they just kind of kept going back and back to that rather than,
Staking the forest for the trees.
yeah, some of the other things that we
Exactly.
talked about.
I think too, that the planning board is also feeling they're struggling
Mhm.
because the ECB or the
ZBA.
the ZBA is one way and disregarding the ECB, and they're looking for that, but they can't because the variance has already been granted. I think that they're
Yeah,
struggling. I don't know.
Sure. Yeah.
That's what
They
I
were
sense.
talking about it in the last planning board
Mhm.
because the variance was already granted, so,
Boy, yeah.
Can you explain briefly how it works when an application comes in so that people are
Sure,
aware
yeah,
of the process?
Yep, so we will get an application, we in our office for a site plan, for example.
Let's
And
say they've got a 45-foot stream setback.
yeah,
you know.
let's use the Shotlands, right? Our 100-foot stream setback, the site plan comes in, we notice that, oh, it doesn't meet, what I do is review all the setbacks, it doesn't meet the setback. We flag it for an area variance, then it goes, this is very oversimplified, but it'll go to the ZBA for approval of the variance, and then it will go to the planning board for review. We talked about in the last planning board meeting. So this is all kind of, it all works together, and that maybe the planning board starts to look at these first.
That would make more sense. yeah.
For, so they can give their input to the zoning board. The zoning board can have some more teeth. Not that the ECB isn't giving enough, but
But does ECB and ag do before the ZBA every time as well?
yes,
They do.
always.
So it's PRC, ECB, ag.
ACB,
ZBA,
ZBA,
planning.
planning board.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if we can move planning board, we could move the review to a planning board meeting first.
Oh, okay.
We
I was
talked-
looking-
I mean, that would be a code change, but it's something that it might be worth exploring.
That would be
So I was looking at a
beneficial.
document yesterday. I spent most of yesterday going through the town board website and trying to really familiarize myself with organizations, workflow, process. I need to go back at it. It's.
Can I do it
We
you the
can-
next time you do
You
that?
do that when we
I'm
could
still learning
work
that
together.
myself.
Yeah.
And I was looking for the document that, or just a bit ago, but it seemed to me, I remember the ECB came last in this progression of approval or recommendation. Is that still correct?
No,
That-
okay.
no.
you might be thinking in the calendar,
Yeah, that
ACB
PRC
dates are
calendar.
last. But no, we try to interject, it's sometimes it's close to the meeting, but we want to get that soon before planning board, before zoning board, the
Okay.
ECB's comment.
Usually we're pretty quick, but we don't look at all of them, right? So if it's.
Yeah, you
not-
don't see everything.
Yeah.
I mean, that structure of review was set up before the ECB was even created, correct? I mean, is that
Yes.
why?
Yeah,
Same with
But
the
I mean,
ag or-
planning board and ZBA do see our comments before they make a determination. So
right,
both of them.
they do.
So.
They're part of the findings and approvals. They go
Mm-hmm.
right in the resolution.
And they do usually, I mean, whether or not they follow or not, they always address them. I mean, both boards pretty much will say, there's a comment in here from the ECB that says XYZ doesn't fit with.
Actually, I find the planning board does a much better job.
The planning
does
board
a great job,
absolutely
yeah.
does. The zoning board, not so much.
Well, they bring them up at least. I'm saying they're aware of them.
They are,
So,
yeah.
But
You know, I mean, it should be addressed because we're listed on a lot of things in the seeker and everything else for review.
You
So
are.
I mean,
Who appoints the ZBA members?
The town board.
town board
Town board
folks.
does.
Mhm.
Mhm. Which is why I think it's important that we bring it up at town board meeting too, because a lot of times that's how people find out things are happening.
I mean, is like one in the future is like the idea to have like a workshop between the different boards or committees to basically kind of work through some of these. I mean, after it's addressed and brought up or.
I think
so that there's an
ultimately,
awareness
yes,
On all sides of how stuff is working.
I think so,
You can
Yeah.
explain the importance of trees at the very least.
Yeah.
right?
Why we make the decisions, we make, what's behind them, the ecological science as we have access to it.
Mhm.
So they understand where we're coming
Yeah.
from.
Right, right.
Not only that, like their beauty and other aspects that they just add to the whole of Canandaigua here is really important. I
Yeah,
mean,
Right.
Yeah.
huge tourist place, people come here to
Mhm.
hike, to look at the lake for our leaves.
Mhm.
Well, it is an economic engine for us, so
Absolutely.
if we start paving everything over, we're impacting
Like
all of
people
us.
come here for our
Mhm.
trees
In our
and
livelihoods.
farms.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe in the future too, it'd be beneficial to have someone from the ZBA sit in or just have someone, a spot for them to attend our meeting.
Yeah, I
and the
think
other
that would
ones,
be-
Just to kind of get an understanding of. where
Yeah.
we're coming
That's
from.
actually a really good idea.
I mean, I know we've done that in the past and we still do it. We're on other committees and boards, so we have our representation there.
Yeah.
Well,
Why
just
not-
like
why not that way?
I think, just like I was saying, it would behoove all of us to check out a ZBA or a planning board meeting.
100%.
I think maybe we can come up with a suggested schedule for board members you know, I mean, the town board could even make a determination that, you know, once a year, somebody from every board has to attend at least one of their board meetings or something. I mean, we could even do
We
something like
could
that. if we
board
wanted to.
exchange students.
So, yeah. board
Right.
exchange students. I don't know if board exchange student is a negative connotation, but we,
swap.
I've been on those, yeah.
But no, but I think, I do think that, I mean, I know a lot of our other committees, I mean, CIC does that, for example. I mean, there's a representative from each committee.
They're supposed to be.
Supposedly, that
Right.
goes to the CIC committee, so.
Well, the chairman, the ZBA chairman and the planning board chairman go to the other
Yeah.
meeting. They all.
Oh, they do?
Chuck goes to ZBA, Chip attends the planning board,
Mhm.
Well,
so.
I try to go to some here and there where I can, but I mean,
You
I'm.
go to a lot of stuff.
I do.
Yeah, he
It's a big commitment.
It is a big
I go to
It's-
a both.
Yes.
You're at,
Yes,
Kimberly's at every meeting.
The thing that's tough about
You're the
Kimberly is that
key.
she's,
We just don't.
she's a member of this committee, but she's taking minutes at the other ones, so she can't really act as an ECB member when she's there.
You were sitting on
as
your
the-
hands, I'm
as the
sure
minute
that.
taker.
Well,
So,
unless, I mean, if they ask me things, they will
Sure.
certainly.
And they
can.
have been.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
planning
Right.
board.
Planning
the
board.
planning board does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
good.
Good,
Yeah.
You
I
look
mean,
thrilled about that.
Yeah, I
No,
think
no, that was good.
it is good.
You know,
CBA has to be nothing.
something that
It's a
we,
difficult situation to be in sometimes, I think, because you want to be both a,
Yeah.
you know, just a
Mhm.
Yep.
an observer and non-judgmental in any way, but you are actually a sitting member of the ECB. so.
Definitely going through the videos of like other planning board stuffs for reviews. I mean, it's well thought out. They
Yeah.
take to heart everything we're
Yeah.
writing,
Mhm.
because it makes their job easier too, because it's information they don't have to. look
Right.
up.
Right, right.
But that does involve what, you know, sociologists call role conflict, you know, you're,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Too many hats.
your charge is one thing, one place, one thing in, so that has to be a little bit stressful, and you've got to create your own boundaries. But, you know, being in a position of centrality as you are, that's probably helped you put together this quite nicely.
Yes, it has.
Mhm.
That's super.
Yes.
Thank you for that.
Yep.
So Shauna, you're gonna
I'm gonna add,
add that to your report and.
yes, but not
mention it.
add the documents, but
Yeah.
add that it's a discussion that's starting.
Maybe, I mean, do we
You're the
want to add
Lorax
this
for all
one?
the other committees and boards.
I'm sorry.
You're the Lorax for all the other
Lorax.
committees and boards.
I think pull PowerPoint.
I'm not
up.
sure if we want to yet, because Eric and I are gonna start digging in a little bit more.
Okay,
I'm thinking we wait, because we might
Okay.
have more of an impact once we get some more data. This is impactful, but I think I'd rather wait on that.
maybe if you could indicate that there appears to be a
Pattern.
pattern occurring, something like that
Yep.
from our early investigation into it, so that is concerning.
And when I wrote the memo, I tried to use language like that.
Yeah,
So,
it was very,
you know,
Didn't
we
say we were looking for the
perceived
rubber
a
stamp,
pattern,
yeah.
a problem.
Non-judgmental confrontational. language.
Well, and just another reminder, I mean, these meetings are all public and recorded, so I mean, we can refer people back to see what our discussion is here.
That's
so.
true.
are you recording now?
Yes, we
yeah.
always do.
Always do.
Always do, so.
So, yeah. As I was saying.
That mic's right in front of you. No, but really, I mean, obviously, we want people to hear what our views are. That's why we're here.
Well, can the planning board veto a ZBA action?
no.
They cannot.
They
So
cannot.
it's an extremely powerful group of 4 or 5.
It's
people.
a quasi judicial board.
Mm-hmm.
They have the authority to basically waive the code. It's a very powerful board.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the other area, and we spent a lot of time talking about changing weather events and climate change. And there were comments at that meeting as well, talking about, well, we're not going to have another Hurricane Francis, you know, because that was 20 years ago.
Yes.
Agnes, yes.
Agnes,
Yeah.
Agnes.
It wasn't 20 years ago, by the way. That was before I was born.
But that's, seemed to be the mindset that we don't have to prepare for.
Yes.
They were putting in, you know, their swales or their drainage, and it was all gonna be good. And it's like, you can still have those big events.
But that's kind of against the town, like, not code, but like, we're part of the climate community and we signed up for that. as
Right,
well.
we just,
So it's
yeah.
kind of contradictive of what our path forward is at the same time, so they need to kind of be aligned or at least aware.
Lots of different viewpoints. Okay, I don't think there's anything from ordinance at this point, although I do think they're still working on some solar.
Oh, just, yes, absolutely. So if anybody is interested in coming to the next ordinance meeting on the 8th, next Monday at 9. Bob LaCourse, who is a member of the planning board, will be presenting some potential changes to the solar ordinance, making it more restrictive and comprehensive. And Bob DiCarlo will also be there representing the ag committee.
Is that gonna be recorded?
Yes, yep, yep.
So is it at 9
9 a.m. on,
Okay,
Yep.
good.
Probably in here.
in here.
Okay.
Everything's in here.
Pretty much so,
Yep.
except for the
Yeah,
PPW meetings.
It will, and we're not talking battery, we might mention battery storage, but that's on the horizon as well.
Or no battery storage.
No batteries.
Yes, exactly.
Will that have a Zoom link or not?
They all, yeah,
The
it's
Yeah.
supposed to be
ordinance
up there.
one?
I would email, who's our ordinance chair now? Is it John?
John is out, so
I can send the.
Kim does the
to
agenda.
the
Okay.
ECB.
Okay, thanks.
So just make sure that you're in there, because Kim, remember I had issues last time. Just make sure that you're in the system already as a Zoomer.
Oh,
or
yeah,
whatever
that thing
it
is sort of hard.
It is, yeah, so sort of
Take some. finagling.
pre-register for
you
it.
have to, yeah, you have.
There's
to
a very
have an
good reason for
account.
that. though. If you
Oh,
happen
I'm
to
sure.
attend a town board meeting a
Is
few
that from the
years
Zoom
back.
bombing or whatever? last couple of years?
Just like get on there ahead by like 10 minutes, so you
Okay.
can figure out any technical difficulties.
Yeah,
Yeah.
poor Adeline we had to talk to her on the phone.
Yeah, and then my vote didn't count because I was on the phone.
That's right. 'Cause he couldn't see you.
That doesn't make sense. Very sad.
Uh,
Someone was
Imposter.
strong-arming you behind the scenes, or is that the word?
No, it was. just-
Right,
I
we
think,
can't see who it
I think it's
is.
different meeting open than normally opened or something.
Yeah.
It just was, yeah. Anyway, okay, so PRC, now we got into the fun stuff, everybody. Here we go. So-
We
So,
love fun stuff.
Kimberly, if you, did everybody have an agenda, by the way? I printed out a couple extras.
I'll take an extra one.
We had talked about we weren't gonna review 50, that was the Westbrook
Yes.
subdivision, so we're skipping that, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, we agreed to skip the other one, but this is the same thing,
Is that
this
just a
first one,
redraw or
50, it's
whatever?
just.
Yeah,
they're
it's the
simple,
same. Yep,
They're just subdivisions of lots, it's
Yeah.
not, they're not changing the ground in any way at this point, so. So we'll just ignore that first one.
so yeah, 51 is where we need to go.
Yes.
So I can explain this. This is the,
Yeah, I did this one too.
I did, I
Shepherd
went out there
Burke.
as well.
Okay,
so.
we all went up.
there's 2 small homes there.
Not bad.
Oh, I know.
Small for Westlake Road.
2 small homes. The proposal is to combine, so 2 lots. They've submitted a lot line adjustment plan to get rid of the property line in the middle and combine and make 1 lot, tear down the 2 cottages, build a new house. And they live to the north currently, and this will be their new residence.
We have a guest.
Oh, yes. I've seen that name before. On a few other meetings.
It's a German name. okay. Hello, welcome.
Hi. Gary, did you?
Yeah, let me run through. So as Shauna said, this is application for demolition of the 2 adjacent properties and replacement with a single year-round family home. The 2 cottages are 600, 900 square feet, and the new proposed home would be 3667 square feet. And PRC recommended ECB review. I don't know if we want to pull up the Encore.
Is that which one?
Yeah, up first, this would kind of see these lots.
And what was the address? Sorry.
It is.
5007.
5007.
Yeah.
Or,
16.
yeah, it's 7 or 9,
It's
isn't it?
both, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
5005 and 5007.
Yeah, so
Actually, did you notice that? Becky?
the-
This is 5 and 7 and this is 7.
Well, they live at 5.
Oh, they live at 5.
They do.
Oh,
they live at
so they've got 5, 7.
they got three, they got
Oh,
three lots, three houses. We saw the one picture of the cottages and they're probably 1920s. I don't know, those single, small cottages. around
Typical
there.
for the area. when I was
That
there.
vintage. Yeah.
Vintage.
Less
They used
so
to be
now.
very cute.
They want a bigger house, sort of like the one right next door there.
That is
that's
their
where
house.
they
That's, the one to the
Yeah.
north is the house that they currently reside, and then those two lower lots, the one that's highlighted, the one below it, are gonna be demolished. And then the larger home, 3,000 plus square feet with a swimming pool. So they're requesting several variances. They propose a 40-foot front setback where 60 feet is required by code, and a 37-foot rear setback, that'd be on the lake side, and 60 feet is required. Also proposing a 26.9% lot coverage when 25% is the maximum. So that's a 1.9% lot coverage variance. And they're also proposing to expand a non-conforming driveway, which is kind of on the south side of the lower parcel.
Yeah, it almost hits the property line.
Almost
on
hits the
south.
property line. It's like one
It's
yard
right
away.
there, yeah, it's right
1
there.
foot away, they're gonna increase it a little bit, but it's still gonna be out of compliance. And what's it, it's a 10-foot required?
It's 10
Okay.
feet. I think is it 3 feet, 3.6
That they.
that they're
want, yeah,
proposing?
yeah.
And that's the stream bed just south of it.
Mhm. Okay, yeah, so we can look at some pictures. One thing they're doing positively, they're trying to maintain the view shed and not disturb the vegetation out front. Although this is one of the trees that they're trying to protect, but the swimming pool they're putting in is going to become pretty close to that. And I just wonder about the grading impacts on that, as well as one of the other trees, which is going to be between the house and the lake. So concerns, referencing the NRI, you can look through the other pictures as well. And Adeline, you took some.
I took some, I tried to send them to Kimberly, but they
Okay.
didn't all go
Yeah.
through, so
That's
I don't know
fine.
which one she's got.
Okay.
There's one here.
Oh, yeah, that's a,
Yeah, I've got a
That's a
similar
nice
one to that, where that's going around, so.
yeah.
Unfortunately, there were a number of trees
that's that one.
recently
They took
cut
down.
down.
Are we passing this around?
Yeah, feel free. Pass it about.
A bunch of trees with a.
Yeah, that one is huge, by the way, that one right there.
So they have a stump there that must have been a
Huge.
300-year-old.
those trees they
It
cut
must-
down.
Seriously, 200 to 300-year-old tree.
Oh, my.
So the one tree they did say they're gonna cut down is an oak tree, which is about 11 inches in diameter, which is at the southwest corner of the combined properties. So
You can scroll through if you want to.
looking at the NRI checklist, there's no designated wetlands or endangered species which would be impacted by this project. Although it's not excessively large in comparison to some of the other neighbors, the new home with a swimming pool will cover more area than the existing two cottages combined. The owners have put forth a plan that addresses the needed variances, which individually are not great, but collectively appears, and they got 4 or 5 variances they're requesting. The loss of another vintage summer cottage is regrettable, but the view shed, as far as landscaping vegetation, appears mostly preserved. Efforts need to be made to protect the remaining mature trees between the houses and the lakes, as they may be vulnerable to grading from the project. In addition to the rain garden, which is going to go on the northeast side of this combined lot. And they kind of detailed how they're going to handle the, the drainage off the roof of the house. But in addition to that, they also talk about the pool being used for drainage management, which seems kind of unique.
Different?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
do they have like one of those natural pools?
It's just a swimming pool. I don't know.
Can you worry about
Uh,
the chlorine?
Well, yeah, but this would have to be done cautiously as the town code prohibits the drainage of pools into the lake, so.
Right,
to Fill it up.
No, it's not.
What is
Yeah.
this?
Either with a lot of salt.
What was the slope like on the other side of the road from that?
It's pretty flat, isn't it? Did you have line, did you notice on the other side of the street?
I recall 8% on the house side.
Outside of
Or was it
minimal.
just right in the driveway? Yeah.
That's the other side of the street. There's a stream that goes up through there that's
I looked at the plans and
it's very slopey, obviously. going
the
into
dialogue
stream.
between
Yeah.
the different
It's a
town
gully.
groups leading up to where it is today.
Yeah,
And I got a sense that, and again, I forgot my notes. Is it Mr. Jensen? Is it
Chris,
Chris?
Yeah.
Did suggest keeping trees and vegetation along the lake, not cutting down any more trees.
Mhm.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
what it is.
Well,
It's a
hopefully
buffer.
they're gonna be able to do this project without damaging them, and then they're dumping a lot of topsoil in the front of the house, or there's also trees during the project, so. But help mitigate the effects of the coverage of the lot and help with stormwater management consideration. Should be given use of pervious or porous ground cover. Grid grass paver system for the driveway as well as the walkways. I don't know what they spoke to, the type of coverage for the driveway.
they didn't speak about that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So,
It says paved, but sometimes that can
yeah,
mean,
yeah, and I don't know which of those products are
Other
good for a driveway. And the driveway, as Eric said, is gonna have a bit of a slope to it. If there's anything that they can use, which would be more absorbent,
Do you want a recommendation for more details in the driveway surface?
yes.
it would be good. Yeah, I didn't, this seemed relatively straightforward. Again, they are increasing the lot coverage. I think standard is for 1 acre per home, and they're less than that, even with the 2 combined lots, but,
I think it's half an acre it combines to be.
okay.
Mhm.
Is it
And,
1 acre on the lakefront though?
I think it is, that's what they're supposed to have.
For scenic view shed.
Oh, for seeing, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, for the scenic view shed over there. I think that did you read their justification for the lot coverage? Why they needed the pool? Because of their concerns about the blue-green algae in the lake.
Yeah, that was a bit of a stretch. I thought.
Yeah.
Want me to bring that up?
If they're.
Yeah, I thought that
if
was-
They're going to use it for drainage control, they will have blue-green algae.
Which doctor?
Right, it was from their attorney.
Yeah, it's the MMR letter.
Yeah, from MMR.
Yeah.
It's I have to be careful since they're being recorded. Page 3. The swimming pool, which amounts to 3.3% lot coverage, is essential for the enjoyment of the home. The applicants are avid swimmers. In particular, Miss Burke swims daily due to recent trends in blue-green algae blooms. It's unsafe to swim in Canandaigua Lake at various times. So,
Maybe it's happened once or twice, and that's
Yeah.
usually they've recommended against small children and animals.
We could recommend that they get a swimming hot tub, which is 14 feet long and has automatic
oh, where it,
jets that you can swim with.
I just think that, I mean, the health of the lake is very healthy. I think using that as
Yeah. I thought that was-
justification
rather-
is
rather lame.
weak.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, we do a pretty good job of mapping and knowing between the county and everybody involved with the lake of where the breakouts are, and it can be minimized, or
Right.
you don't need to.
Yes, there's
You're if you're aware of where they are.
almost
Mhm.
immediate notification through the.
Oh, it's like
watershed group
instant.
as
Mhm.
to if there
Yeah.
is any.
Sure, sure.
difficulty.
And it's not typically out on Nanda.
No.
Which is where
No.
this house is.
So apart from having to go behind the house, are there other restrictions on pools in the residential lake district?
No, it's just
This
location.
was many years
basically.
ago, we went through, I forgot the one, but it was many iterations, and then it was found there was no size limit to pools, basically.
What?
So it was clarified on there, that, yeah.
That was
as long
is that
as it's not
17?
impacting- Yeah, as long as it wasn't impacting lot coverage.
Mhm.
You could have a Olympic
Yeah, and
size
there was
swimming
multiple
pool.
versions on the project, that's why I was like, at the end, it was like, that's when the research was done. to figure
Yeah.
out.
So they're required to be behind the homes.
In the RLD, you would
What's
have,
behind the home in the
Yeah,
RLT
it's on the-
since
on the
they're
lake-
rear
the
setback.
well,
lake- on the
that,
lakeside.
it is, they can be located lakeside in the,
There's
Or
a
lakeside is
breakdown
rear.
of
Yeah, that's
the
what I thought.
paved area
Yeah.
on that. Give a percentage.
How does the neighbor to the, that has
Yeah.
that driveway next to them, right on the
Yeah,
lot
just
line,
the-
how do
the
they feel
turnaround
about
area,
that?
the driveway is
That's
pretty
the
large.
family.
Oh, no, sorry.
The one on the north there.
Oh.
No, the south.
Oh, the
southern
side
neighbor?
of the
Yeah.
driveway.
There's a,
South
that's the
driveway.
stream beds in between.
Yeah, it seems like a lot.
Okay, it's right on the stream bed, yeah,
Pretty
the
much.
stream bank.
They got quite a buffer between their driveway and
do
their
have a
their
buffer.
house. They got a big-
Is that the septic system in the, next to the street there?
Yeah,
It's pretty tiny.
I think they said in the letter where they had to allow that much area to put the septic.
Mhm.
they have a big septic system.
Yeah,
It must be
it's
needed.
Large,
Yeah.
sometimes it's very large house, so they would need it. We're not wanting to add different green algae anyway.
I was just gonna- well, if we have a large turnaround area. I guess to mitigate that and kind of. There's potential for, you know, if you want that turnaround to do like a bioswale in the middle of it, basically,
Okay,
as like an additional infiltration point, but also kind of reduce down the
Yeah.
asphalt. And hopefully get that number down to the 25% or.
That's
seems
a
like
great
we could
idea.
Work with them basically to kind of 2-for-1 on it.
Yes.
absolutely, and I mean, there's no, the pool can be smaller. There, I mean, that's the things that we can,
Mhm.
there's suggest that
That's
make
an
it,
easy fix,
like,
too.
minimize the size, the pool doesn't
To,
have to
to
be.
put them in compliance with the. lot
Right, you're
coverage.
almost there, it's
Yeah.
1.9%.
Okay, that
Mhm.
makes sense.
Here's the southeast corner of that pool, awfully close to the lake shore. There's really not much frontage there. A high lake event could bring the water right up to the foundation of the pool and dribble it away.
And they're next to a stream too, so
Mhm.
stream and lake, so.
Mhm. So it would be a vulnerable point. I
And
do
it's an
remember,
in-ground pool, correct?
Mhm. Yeah,
4 inches in a matter of half an hour, 45 minutes one time out in that area.
4752.
Yes. It has, we get more of those events all the time.
What do they have around the pool over there?
That's landscaping.
shrubbery.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think
Shrubberies.
looking at their list is another chance to put more natives in than the generic stuff they have in there now.
How
I
many
saw, I saw honeysuckle and I was triggered, sorry.
Yeah,
Oh, was
I
the
can't
list
read
up
it
there?
from here.
I was like, oh, no.
Is that it?
I don't know if it's sterile or not, but it's just it's honeysuckle.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's actually some tree of heaven on the south
Ah,
border.
Is that what that was? I'm finally starting to be able to
Yeah.
identify.
Oh, yeah. That's the Atlantis.
The
Yeah.
Atlanta
Okay.
stuff, yeah, yeah, that would be good to replace with something native.
Is that in the stream bed there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's off their property line, I think.
Oh, they had it down there?
Did you
Yeah.
want to make a recommendation?
Well, it's
It's
on the
off their
neighbor,
property.
it's on the
I think it's on the
neighbors.
Oh,
southern
it's on the
neighbors.
neighbors.
Yeah. We'll call the neighbor up.
Yeah, tell them to watch out for the lantern flies.
My husband didn't know about the spotted lantern flies. I brought it up the other day. He's like, what's that? I'm like, really?
You need to give them a magnet for your fridge.
During the
Yeah.
art
Any natives?
festival, they had a whole bunch of papers out for all the invasives from the
Yeah.
lake.
They
also had
Adirondack
here,
crabapple?
They did.
Apples are native already.
Yeah, good.
So,
Okay,
so we're recommending that they do not get the lot coverage variance. Are there any other variances that are of concern?
I think it would be easy to amend the lot coverage.
With the pool.
Yes, and
Pool
with-
Yeah,
pavement.
Justin.
and with the,
The pavement area.
yeah. having the pavement area
Yeah.
be a great place for a dry well, as a matter of
Yeah.
fact.
Oh,
in the
yeah.
middle
Yeah,
of
just
that.
at a minimum.
Mhm. Or at least slope it in and put something that's salt tolerant growing in the middle of it.
Yeah, that's where it's gonna, that's where it's
Little
gonna
pool
run to.
there.
and
That's where it would run to. And it'd be a great
Spill
place to
over.
treat that before it goes into the lake, because it will certainly go under the ground.
I don't know if that could be fed over to the rain garden. It seems pretty far away. but-
Well, it wouldn't need to be if it was
Where
sinking
was
down.
the rain garden again on it?
So then
It's on the south,
Maybe
or the
lakeside
southeast, or northeast, yeah.
Yeah.
Right up, right
Top.
up. Yeah,
Like a rainbow
over,
lake.
Oh,
right there. Mhm.
okay.
So revise landscaping to include natives.
Yes.
Thank you.
And no honeysuckle.
So I think that's gonna be one of our notes that we always have, basically, when applicable, or
Mhm.
Mhm.
And the road, the front and rear setbacks, any comments on those? It's the lake setback is 37 feet when 60 is required.
I think we'd all like that pool to be a little
So
smaller.
this is a new house they're building it, right?
Yes.
Sorry.
They're tearing everything down to make this one.
Mhm.
What, do we know what the setback is of the current house on, I believe, the southern house? is
I
the
didn't
closer
use
one, right?
those because I didn't think it was relevant. They're
Okay.
both being torn down. I didn't give
Yep.
them, they tried to pull that. I didn't.
That's what I was wondering,
Yeah.
yeah.
So this is not a pre-existing.
No.
non-conforming.
Mm-mm.
Because, yeah,
This is a clean slate.
Right, brand new.
Yeah.
and they're combining the lots, obviously, so.
Mhm.
So if we look at Encore and houses in that neighborhood and how far back those houses are from the shore, will this be in line with that?
Want to look at Encore again? I think it is, but
How close do you want?
What about the one to the south? The one
Down?
down? How? Can you
The
click
one is
on
pretty close.
that one, yeah. What one's that?
Is that Sands's?
Sands, it's Sands.
That's one of the Sands properties.
Without the turrets.
Right, right.
It's a forecastle.
Or the one
That's
south
just-
of that,
yeah,
looks like it
that's
might be a little closer.
Oh, okay.
It does that all the time.
It looks like it's gonna kind of be in line with what's already in the neighborhood, you know?
Mhm.
Queuing up for drinks. while-
Yeah, is that non-compliance because the pool kind of juts out there? I mean, would that be alleviated too if it's brought in further?
A little bit
The
less
variance?
non-conforming.
If you shrunk the pool.
Yeah, I mean,
I like
the
to
smaller
speak in,
pool would just be, I think,
yeah.
all around a better idea.
So the smaller pool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or swimming hot tub.
Yeah, sure.
Then they can swim all year round. Not that I've looked into them for myself or anything like that.
So
But instead of
reduce-
maybe a rectangular thing that juts out, that they could at the very least, I don't know, square it or make the rectangle move a little bit.
So this is to reduce the lot coverage.
And setback.
Yeah.
And setback.
And so-
Two birds, one stone.
Did we lose our guest?
I think so. Nope, we still have a guest.
Should we ask if she has any comments or because she missed the privilege of the floor? I don't know. If she came for a particular project or just wanted to check out what the ECB was up to.
I'm just watching.
Okay,
Okay, well, you're very welcome to do that.
feel free to speak up and, if you have a comment or a question.
Thank you, folks. I find this just so interesting. So it's just a general observance.
Very welcome.
Anything else we want to specifically point out? You said permeable pavers or some porous.
Yeah.
There's certainly a lot of effort put into the planning of silt fences and other ways to mitigate
Runoff.
water runoff and erosion.
During
And that's
construction.
certainly
right.
very appreciated.
So include silt fences and erosion.
No, it's already included.
Oh, it's already included.
Yeah, they did
He
a
said
good
he
job
was
with it.
complimenting that it was well
Okay.
designed.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Marathon is very, they do good work.
very
with lake
detailed.
properties.
Yeah.
Okay, any more comments or concerns?
That's all
I did
mine.
have one thing I just wanted to note officially. It was concerning going out there and seeing that there have been very recent cut downs of many large trees. I don't know if that happened shortly before their application to the town planner or what, but that was,
Yeah, on the north side, if they were doing an anticipation
Right.
of review, there's the stumps look pretty old. I think it's probably
think
been a
so.
while, but,
Is it?
and I don't know what kind of trees they were, but, yeah. I don't know if one-
Interesting to know the reasoning for their cutting down.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't get your second email.
yeah, I know.
So-
I think it's okay. that
I think it
it's-
was just too large.
It's mainly stream bed stuff, that one, which is just off their property, just to show folks. It looks like it's an active stream. It's fairly similar to the one that goes Burns Creek in that it dries up at this time of year, but there's still some water across the street, so. Not terribly steep stream banks or anything like that, so. Okay, so let's move on. We've got number 52 here. The Hickox Road property,
Mhm.
single stage subdivision. Creating 3 different parcels. Looks like 3 different lots.
Is this active farming?
It is,
It's 52, so
it is active.
it doesn't give an ad, well, the
You might have to
tax and-
use, it's right
Good.
behind the home. You might have to use a tax ID number.
Okay,
It's, what is this, that's at 96.00, that one, that's it,
190, is it 190?
it just says 96.
96.00
dash 1-50.1.
Oh.
Yes, by the way, if anybody didn't know that, you can input tax
I can
ID numbers in the
find it. I
Encore.
can zoom.
That's how I
Usually
usually
they
find
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
And
when
it
there's
does
no
indicate
house.
a lot or an address.
Yeah.
Took me a while to figure that
I
out.
couldn't find this yesterday as I was looking for it.
Yeah. That's, yeah.
Awesome.
I'm always a good one for explaining novice issues to folks because coming into everything as just a random community member. I totally understand.
There's Will House. It's right
Or you can just bring Shauna along and she'll
Yeah,
know
I'll
where
find
everything
it.
is.
Wait, did I go?
You're on Knott Road now.
Oh,
Go-
sorry, yeah.
You gotta go,
It's.
gotta
up
go
here.
west. Go west, young lady.
Go west. There's
County Road 32 and Hickox.
Hickox. All right, not this on it. Did I go too far?
Find County Road 32.
Keep going north.
Hickox.
Gotta go
Yeah, it's
north
up here.
and west. You're getting there. Keep going west. Okay, you're getting close now. Should be around there.
Where's Helming's house? Here it is. Wait,
No, yeah, I'm 5 and 20.
I'm too far.
Yeah.
There's Hickox. It's down here.
That's
There it is.
There you
You
go.
got it.
It's next to the Walshes, right?
Yes. So active farmland. There's not a lot to say about this. Other than they wanna parcel it up, chunk it up. It doesn't meet code, so they do need variances.
Why is it not meeting code? What are they doing? Are
They-
flag lotting or-
Basically, so if a lot is 3 acres, the length cannot be more than 2.5 times the width.
Oh, okay.
So they flag lotting.
So, yeah, so they need 3 variances for lot depth for each lot.
Show the survey map.
Mm,
Put the-
I'm
put the
sorry?
map. Could you put the map up, please?
a survey map.
So you can see what we're looking at, how they want us to split it, what they're proposing.
Oh,
Back to the project.
The map,
page
yeah,
Okay.
the actual
I'm
map.
sorry.
That's a,
For 52.
there it is. Yep.
That's good.
Thank you.
North is up.
Oh, so they're not very flaggy then.
No.
They're not,
They're just
they're really not, but
slightly adjusted.
they're
kind of thing.
just a little bit longer than they need, than the code requires.
What's the ratio you have to have?
2.5. If it's more than 2.5, it cannot be more than 2.5 times the frontage.
Okay.
So lot 1 is 282 feet longer than it's supposed to be. 2 is 68 and 3 is 144 feet.
And
How wide are they all
deep?
at the road there? They're
They all meet the,
the road frontage?
yeah, 2 something, 225 is that the minimum here probably?
I don't think, unless somebody else, I don't
Big-
think we
big
have
lots.
tons to
They're big lots.
Yeah.
say that's impactful on that from ECB perspective. I think.
Yeah, I think because this is farmland,
Yeah.
it came to you. Oh, there, it's bigger than that. What's that, 330?
There's your
I can't see it.
AR2, there's the setback stuff there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not that flaggy. I think it's
No,
okay.
they're not a flag.
They're not,
It-
I
it's
think
just
that
the
was
code
the
thing.
intent. This is
Yeah.
an old
Yeah,
reg. I don't know the history of it.
yeah, they're, I think.
The applicant
it's-
asked me that.
So they leave the buffer down by the waterway. they
Yeah.
would
The creek.
Avoid the variance and help provide a greater buffer, basically.
But they're not building anything. They're just.
Well, not yet.
dividing
They
it, yeah.
are. Yeah,
Of course,
be.
they will be, but at this point, we're just dividing lots, so there's
Right.
not much we can comment on as ECB other than, okay.
But at site plan, absolutely.
What is the stream to the east? Is that Sucker Brook? What-
No, that's not
Not
Sucker
over
Brook.
there. Is it the same one
There's a
that,
pond like on the
Yeah.
joiner
that links up
and
to
the
Miller
stream
Park or
probably
something? doesn't it?
That's Sauter.
passes through.
Sauter.
Mhm,
property.
Daughters.
Yeah.
So no comment?
That's too bad. I hate to see farmland get,
That can be the comment. But
it's a nice field.
I think they mentioned the Sarpy in the ag committee last time.
We decide to do something else then. Then we can go with all the comments.
But those feed down onto the tributary down there.
Mhm, mhm.
Well, everything pretty much meets up with Sucker Brook. so
Sucker Brook.
I kind of-
Eventually.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And the
kind of
lake,
that one
because
tributary starts up
Sucker
Brook,
on Miller's property up there. And then,
So they would not require, if this is prime farmland, like the best fertile farmland,
Mhm.
would that require a variance or
No.
it would not? So that's, doesn't go into the decision making.
No, the new ag overlay district that is going through,
Mhm.
the only teeth that has really is if they were to propose the sewer extension, that would have to be approved on 7 acres, I believe, and above, that would have to be
Yeah.
approved by the town
Huh,
board.
okay.
So
can't-
no,
You
there's,
can't put solar, but you can put a subdivision.
right,
Okay.
Only
right.
3 of them though. Sort of.
So no recommendations.
It's just a subdivision of land, there's not.
Yeah, I think if there's any way to like just avoid that variance by having a little buffer area, I mean, it seems like an easy opportunity to do a little bit of good before it gets divided into houses and stuff.
That's true.
Where's the,
Between the.
Yeah, just so they don't need
The
that.
northern
for
edge
the-
there, or
for the
eastern
street,
edge,
yeah.
whatever that is. Hydroxy kind of crooked, so I don't know if that's north or east.
so what would you suggest? I'm sorry.
No, so basically, so to avoid those 3 variances for the flag lot, the 2.5, I mean, if this area was kind of left out, and then they wouldn't need the variances, they would just, I don't know what they would do with that land.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Somebody has to own it.
They could
Somebody
give it
has
to
to
the
own it.
town.
But I don't know, is it the same as over here, the same?
So we
property
go on a
owner?
landlocked
Like a little
parcel.
tiny strip of land.
Hiking trail.
Right.
We could bring that up with Mr. Sauter.
Does he own the other one there behind the horse farm and stuff?
I think that's Dave Sauter, isn't
Is that the parcel?
Because
Yeah.
that could easily
Peggy.
be dissolved and transferred over to that.
it? Yeah, that's Peggy
Parcel.
Allister.
Yeah, that's the same.
Okay, yeah, so like, I know with our property, that was something that can be addressed too, is that can be dissolved basically and added to that.
Added
parcel
to,
over
well,
there.
yeah, that could be done before it's subdivided.
Correct.
That's not the same owners though. The Sauters don't own the property that we're
Oh,
looking at.
okay.
do they?
No, it's a different owner.
It's a different owner.
Scratch that.
Well, no, yeah, but maybe they know each other. They
I'm
could
sure they
transfer
do.
the land over. No, actually, he was from out of town. He recently moved back, right? Yeah.
Okay, are we good on 52?
Yes.
Okay, let's move on to 53 then.
Similar subdivision, in that there's a business there. You probably all passed it one time or another. Tripodi, is it Tripodi? Yeah, Tripodi's, contractors, storage yard. And they're just dividing the business off from the house. I believe that's really all that's happening. There's nothing else that's changing. We've seen this a couple times now with financing, people, the horse farm, yeah, the horse farm, the three guys, three brothers, three guys.
Three guys.
We
I
had,
was gonna say
no,
three
we
brothers,
had
the winery is a different
five
story,
guys.
guys.
I don't know what they were, there was
Started
brothers and
rumors.
guys,
It has
sorry.
something to do with food.
They already have some burnt down on their property.
Oh,
More
that's right, I
trouble.
forgot about that.
Oh, yeah, the little.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that.
Mhm.
Try and keep up with wineries around here.
We'll talk later.
Do you want to look at anything or?
Yeah, I
Can we
guess
see the
triggered
map?
this.
We should see the map.
I forgot.
Early, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
What's his tripping?
Let's see where.
How early?
50.
Very later.
53, is that the CPM?
It's
That's
50,
fine.
30, yeah.
Trippity.
Oh, those are interesting lots.
Oh, that's okay, you're at 32?
Got it.
So they're not building anything new, they're literally
No.
just dividing nothing.
So the business is,
I was gonna say, that's the home parcel.
yeah, the home and then the business is to the north, well, Is that north?
Top.
Top,
We'll call
yeah,
it
it's not
top.
north. Oh, there's a north arrow. Yeah, the top. Yeah.
Any comments? Until they disturb the soil, I don't think there's too much we can really worry about. Okay, all
Great.
right.
Thank you,
We can
board.
move past that one then, because we got a lot of other stuff to chatter about. So the ECB town newsletter, think, so we put in there the possible event notice, which we're going to talk about here in a few minutes, but just so everybody knows, I did get confirmation from Jim Fletcher. We're going to use October 22nd as the date for our event, which is a Saturday. So we've got the Town Highway Garage for October 22nd. So if we want to talk about that at the September or maybe the October one, I don't know what you want, how that impacts our newsletter. Somebody, I forget who it was, somebody had brought up an electric boat article as a possibility.
I think I brought that up. What,
Did you
battery, yeah, battery.
battery
electric
operated boats?
That was one of the possible ideas.
Eric was gonna do climate change in the Finger Lakes. Right?
Yeah, could do
Yeah.
that.
I actually added more months to our TBD list, so if you wanna like speak out for something.
Yeah, if you like a
future-
month, please grab it.
Grab 'em on.
I mean, honestly, I think electric boat might be good for January or February.
We
when
were
people
s-
are
we were
thinking
mentioning
about
that when
what's
they're
cool,
buying, like,
purchasing
when
the
the-
boats.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Maybe even when the boat, what is that, the boat show?
yeah. I think
Maybe
it's
there will
January,
be
February.
something like that at the boat
But
show.
I think October is probably the worst time
early.
to talk about
Yeah.
boats.
Yeah.
So let's
Everybody's
do that in
sad.
January or February, or whatever makes sense then.
Well, when that time
Um,
comes, I'll like that.
Yeah.
I can grab
Good
October
idea.
Like
for the
talking about like
Finger Lake.
apple trees and other stuff in October, an interesting thing for people, like
Sure.
different cultivars in the area that.
Well, let's figure out, when do we want to talk about the October event? In October? I'm thinking maybe we should put it in October because then we'll know the schedule of everything, but I'm not sure we'll know that for September. So,
Oh, okay.
Oh, you mean in the newsletter?
yeah, I think.
I
our
was like,
news-
wait a minute, you need to
No,
talk
I
about that
think-
before.
I think our newsletter
Got it.
article should
I'm
be,
here,
which when is it?
present.
It's the beginning of the month,
So,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've got
Yes.
an October 22nd event. I think that's perfect for having a
Good
big
idea.
The
article
event
about
will
the
be in the
event.
October one.
So,
Okay.
So instead of September, we do that in October.
October got the
Yeah.
event, yeah.
Yeah.
So we need September.
so yeah, so September, that could be climate change at the Finger Lakes, that could be apple trees or something. I don't know what folks would like to do.
When does apple picking start?
September.
September, that'd be good.
No things about apples.
You got apples and
Who knows
grapes in
apples?
September and
Yeah, we
Buddy?
could do a thing on sort of like.
all the fruits that the
Locals.
spotted lanternfly is gonna kill off.
That's what I was gonna
Oh,
say.
yeah.
I could do some research and write up some stuff on that.
That
Go
would be
for it,
great.
Megan.
Okay.
That would be great.
I could
Is that
do
your
some-
first article, Megan?
Yes, this would be my first
Oh,
article.
nice.
Megan's gonna be published.
How
Should be a
how
published
long,
author.
how long of an article are these?
Are they like 500
Variety.
words or something?
Yeah, I
Something
think
like
I
that?
pushes that 800.
Three, don't follow Gary's, he's really, those are very long. I say three.
That's
Or
Pat,
four
she's in
paragraphs.
charge.
Oh,
I
three
don't
or four
even
paragraphs?
Not
Oh,
terribly
You
long.
get a sense.
No.
I
Oh,
wrote a
fill a
65
page,
page
stick in some
thesis for my
pictures.
final thing.
Alright,
I
so-
can write a lot if I.
Not
Yeah.
65
So the
pages.
Don't worry,
challenge is to
dear.
keep it succinct.
Don't worry, I
Yeah.
can do that
Okay.
also.
Catch
Your,
people's attention
Catch
enough.
the attention and
And
interesting.
provide-
That's a good template.
Info.
You can provide links too, if
Mhm.
there's somebody's, because
Okay.
keep in mind, it's usually a digital format for most people, so,
Mhm.
so.
In the past, we've also like used other articles from other, as long as
Mhm.
you're just giving the reference and acknowledgement to them.
I know for 100 references in my paper, so I'm well versed in references, sadly.
So, yeah,
I could go with November for climate change, because there's
That's a
not
good
whole
time for
lot
that.
That's
else
okay.
happening as
Yeah,
far as the
that's a good
agricultural cycle or summer
Mhm.
events. It's kind of a quiet time.
I'll take December then, because I don't think I've done one in a while.
let's just, what do you
Okay,
wanna do?
Justin.
I
Any
don't know
ideas?
yet. Christmas tree recycling.
Yeah.
or-
Mm.
Want to do Christmas tree recycling in December instead of January?
Oh, yeah, ours will
So
be
they're
all up in-
prepared, yes.
Well, yeah, I would have mine up in January.
As a Rudolph, that's kind of
We're
great.
buying transplantable Christmas trees. or-
Oh, that's a good
just other
idea at the
options.
beginning of just like what you could alternatives.
Or just make sure they end up in the mulch pile out back.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that's good. We don't think we need to go into 2023 unless anybody's really roaring and ready to go past January 2023. which it needs to be vertical. Please let me hear Pat know. Okay, the town hall display case. We've got our tree ID still up there. Do you wish to do fall or would you like
Yes,
to have
what I
someone
would
else?
really like to do is know what's going to happen with the October event and put up publicity for
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Okay.
And some teasers about what the content will be.
Well, we're gonna talk
If you have
about that in
leftover
just a
flyers,
second.
I'll take them down to Ryan's.
We'll talk about that in just a second.
Okay. That will be-
Okay, and I was gonna bring up in new business, we kind of already talked about it, but that Eric and Shauna and anybody else who's interested are kind of working on this variance tabulation that Kimberly has gotten started, so I was just gonna bring that up, but we kind of already talked about that, but yeah, if anybody really enjoys doing lots of data mining.
Have you guys had like a Google Doc of
It's
sorts?
a great place.
We haven't started yet,
So,
but if you are interested, we'll refer you.
I will say that's not my usual forte. I can try.
well, raise your hand if you're interested kind of thing, so, but I think Eric and Shauna are gonna get going with that. and
Mhm.
Obviously Kimberly is already kind of going with that. so.
I'm not taking it farther, someone else.
We'll take it
You've
from
done,
here.
you've gone
Yep.
far.
Thank you. for
We have
starting
momentum.
that.
We have
Yeah,
momentum.
exactly. Now we have a format we could, yeah, that's exciting. Thank you.
Okay, so the ECB memo.
Okay, I passed out, and if you want, I can send this electronically, so if you want
I would-
to read it, poke at it, if you have suggestions. We can incorporate all of that, and hopefully people think it's a good idea. If you don't, we can definitely talk about that. What I did was I wrote like a cover sheet that kind of just talked about what we're seeing and our feelings. I wrote up some ideas I had about the two variances that recently got approved. That was the Shotlands, that was the 35-foot stream setback for a new house. And then there was the 3-car garage in the steep slope protection area. So I wrote up some ideas, so if you have more feedback for those particular ones, add that. I was going to include Sarah Linda's letter because her letter is like super awesome.
Stellar.
And then I have other documents where I pulled it out, like out of the comp plan and NRI and town code. So basically, it's all the things that would be referenced. So nobody had to like go hunting and pecking for things. So excerpts from like the ZBA minutes, our minutes. So I didn't print all those out because I was killing trees as it was.
So I'm just going through this now. I apologize. I didn't read it before now. I don't know if you sent it out yet. and I
No,
just-
I did
No,
not
it hasn't been
send
sent out yet.
The only thing I would suggest, so like your second paragraph here, you say, towards the bottom, it says, it's been made clear that no matter how extensively we review and or strongly suggest denial, our advice counts for little at the ZBA hearings.
Mhm.
I might modify the language a little bit there to indicate that, something like our advice is not necessarily as impactful as we would like, or something, something that's a little less accusatory sounding.
Okay,
Because we want to be working with the ZBA to have them, we want to create partnerships where they're understanding our reasoning and the town's reasoning for these variances being required, as opposed to creating a
Animosity.
negative, relationship there. So I just, if everybody can kind of go through at some point and just look for those notes, it may be a feeling that's there, but I just want to mitigate it a little bit.
Yeah, I will definitely send out all of the
Yeah.
electronics. So I know sometimes it's a little easier for people to
Mhm,
mark
yeah.
up.
So comments directly to you, CC to Adeline is the.
Do you want a date when you want these back? Comments
Well,
back by-
obviously, we need them before in the
September
town board
1st.
agenda, yeah, so,
And
yeah,
when is that?
it's.
You
What,
want
do you
this
want this in
in this,
August?
in the August? Or did you want me to put the teaser in my, not teaser, but in my report and then roll it out in
So,
September?
The August meeting is what,
15th.
the 15th.
Mhm.
So that means like, by like the 11th is when they're setting out the agenda, so they're gonna want everything the 8th or the 9th, so.
Right,
it's only
but-
about a week, but.
This memo, I don't want to present this memo
Okay.
myself. I would rather present that you guys are working through it and talking about it
Mhm.
I
and,
think that would be a good approach.
yeah, and then it's, so you'll have maybe finalize it at the September meeting
Okay,
with that, because that'll also give
step it up.
time for Doug and I to work on some things that we have going on too
Okay, yeah,
with ZBA.
Okay,
that way we can be a little more unified.
also, would you like me to send out, or Kimberly, we can send out an official invitation for the ZBA members to come to our, just directly send to them, please come to our next ECB
Actually, I
meeting.
think that would be great coming from you as the facilitator.
Yeah.
So,
I'm not sure, if there's not as much going on, they're not going to learn as much about how we work, obviously.
Right.
So it's hard to know until we get the PRC referrals,
What you have.
what we've got
Yeah.
coming before us. Do you think
Yeah.
there's going to be,
I'm
the next
not foreseeing
ECB.
any giant
okay. So
referrals.
this would have been a good one, for example, but maybe if anybody can help me remember that, because we'll watch for when we've got a meeting that's got a hotter topic coming up than just, minor adjustments, comment period. So let's all go through that, send comments to me. Well, we could just reply all on the, if you've got comments, because we're all gonna want to
can we
see
do that?
Oh, yeah.
it. Yeah, I didn't think so.
By the way, it is beautifully written. by the way.
you.
Reply all in a text of an email, or how do you wanna? yeah,
On
do you wanna-
changes that we would recommend to this.
Because
Or do we
don't we
wanna
have
discuss
to
it
have our
now?
discussions public?
Yes, you're absolutely right. So, no, send them individually. Comments.
We can't Google Doc it or anything.
No.
like that with the-
No,
we can't do that.
that's right.
That'd
That'll
be
also
too
give us time
helpful.
for next meeting From the comments to go over stuff.
In public, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so send stuff, let's just send it to me and to Kimberly then, and then what we can do, Kimberly, is we can redline it
Yes.
and just and then we can
Then you can
vote on it at
distribute
the next meeting.
Yeah.
So we'll do that. Okay, so if you're sending a comment, please, instead of doing what I just did to Kimberly, which was vaguely indicate something that would be helpful, write a sentence. Write a
just
suggested
rework the
sentence. Just actually write it for her, so she's
You did the
not.
hard work already. You did so well then.
Well, I figured if I had something, then we could work with it. It's easier
Yeah.
than starting.
Oh,
just a blank piece of
absolutely.
paper.
Memo writing, writing a piece of a memo by committee is never fun. so.
Did we know, like, for like the ag, and like, do they, their input, does that utilize when they're doing the zoning and stuff, or? is
Yeah,
it-
oh,
is it as
absolutely.
formal? Do
Mhm.
they have,
They have a
have you, like,
nice
reached out to them
report.
Have they been having any issues with like their guidance or? I guess.
No,
their input?
they're not as passionate maybe or verbal as
No,
this
they
board.
are.
Well, because they want to preserve farmland. and
Well, they
stuff.
are internally, but nothing
They
ever
are
seems,
internally.
yeah, it doesn't get,
They'd like to put something forward. We
Conveyed.
can help.
Actually, it was, one of the members at the last meeting said that it was suggested that they give more input. So they may
Maybe
be
they will be.
changing how they operate,
Good.
so,
The
Kim is
ZBA
also
is-
goes to the ag meetings.
Oh,
yes.
Kim knows
Everything.
What's happening?
That's good.
I get to them all, right?
Yeah.
She's the link.
So, but yeah, no, they do a nice report and they have like soils and all that stuff.
Their reports are great.
Can I briefly pause us on this topic area just real quick, because I know Edith
I
has to
have to.
go.
Sorry.
And just change real quick to our October event, just so you have some sort,
Yes,
we're gonna come right back
please.
to this when she leaves.
Please.
But so the October event, like I said, it's gonna be August 22nd. So first question I had, timing, that's when the transfer station is open from 8 AM till noon. Do we wanna do it from 8 to noon, from 9 to 2, from 10 to noon? I mean, what timing makes sense to people for?
What do we
We could
do?
also have people like manning a table or something and have
Yes.
shifts of people.
What I'm anticipating, bare minimum, what we would do is, so if they need to park on the opposite side of the garage, they can't park over here because they'd be in a problem. So they need to be on that side of the garage. Bare minimum, we will have, they'll park there and we'll have tables set up with displays and people stand behind them to answer questions. So that's bare minimum of what we're doing. So
Do we have a bad weather plan?
it's inside.
Oh, it is inside.
It's inside the highway garage.
Yeah.
So that's the whole thing, that why it'll work out well. So we can go over and define which displays we want to have. I think we came up with some ideas already. But I think we need to answer if we want to actually have like a presentation section of it, or if we want to just have it be something that anybody could come through and peruse and get information at their leisure. So that's the first thing we need to kind of figure out. I
We
think.
just haven't accessed from the other side since they'll be using the transfer station.
So it's the highway garage, not the transfer
Oh, okay,
station.
sorry.
So you know that great big huge red
Yeah.
building over there? It's that whole highway garage. So we're just doing it when people are going to the dump, because then we can have a sign somewhere that says, environmental fair today, 9 to whatever, and send them that direction to park there and come check it out, because they'll automatically already be people
Right.
that are there. We can also set up something small in a little free speech-ish area that's sort of there to, if we wanted to.
Do they have a
bring
conference
people.
room over there?
They do, yes,
They have
they have,
Zoom?
there's a conference room, but it's kind of. Can you
Kinda like
access that from the
buried in
back?
there. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't think you can access it from the back.
I'm not sure if you could.
We went to an ag meeting there, an ag committee meeting there once in the conference room
I don't
that's
have-
in the
have you been
highway
over
barn.
Yeah, it's a great conference room. It's about
I
this
never go over
size.
there.
Yeah. I
But
never
you
go there
can't,
either.
it's not, the area that we've got is the actual highway garage where like all the trucks, the salt trucks and
Right.
plows and stuff are
They moved
stored.
those out, yeah.
Yeah.
If anyone was around for the dedication of
Yeah,
that
the open
building.
house, that was like in
that's pretty-
2018.
Yes, it was.
It was
It's
nice.
enormous, yes, and it's
Yeah.
nice, and it's fine. I wanted to ask, since I missed the last meeting, are you having some activities for kids with this that we can?
That's what we
Would
need
love
to
to.
figure out.
Okay, yes, I would love to too. I know what I would like to do, so.
Please tell us.
Do we have a list of topics that you want to cover?
So far, I had rain barrels, lake-friendly lawn care, reducing your carbon footprint, composting, possibly something with seedlings or encore training. That's what I
Very
have.
good.
listed.
I had sent around an email
Yeah,
for discussion, but I could resend it if you like.
Okay, that's fine. I would like to do Finger Lakes fossils.
great idea.
love
Yeah.
that.
That
And
sounds
we will
awesome.
make
Yeah.
fossils. Yes, that's
All right.
fun.
I can
You
do
know,
some.
oh, I have lots.
I'm
I've
sure
done
you do.
Finger Lakes fossils and all kinds of things, I have
Sure.
baggies of fossils that they get to open up and match to a
Oh,
key
cool.
and
Nice.
things like that,
Nice.
yeah. And we make fossils with, actually Wonder Bread was excellent for making fossils.
Oh,
Nice and
You knew it
squishy.
was good for
Make
something,
your own
didn't you?
fossils.
That's
Donate it.
Make your own fossils, yes.
That's
You
funny.
could eat it eventually.
Well, it's,
It's safe.
so I will volunteer for a kitty event.
Awesome.
And we'll do fossils.
Does anybody have, I know you do, a connection to Cornell Cooperative Extension?
Oh, yes.
To see if
Or
they
the
could,
Soil and Water District
Yeah.
too. If I will see, would you like for me to see if someone would deal with the watershed model?
Yes.
there?
Anyone else? I mean,
Okay, I can do that.
Any
Maybe the
ideas that they
groundwater
have?
model.
Any ideas that they have that would be, because we're trying to, we were saying address, well, kids,
Mhm.
fam, and, regular residents and farmers as well, so.
Hmm.
so-
Okay, I will.
So
make
yeah,
some
if you want to
calls.
reach out to
I
them,
will.
that'd be
Mhm.
great.
Yeah, it's fine.
So, and then somebody knew someone who did rain barrel training, I think, or something like that. Did anybody know someone who did rain? barrel
Cornell
training?
does rain barrel training, yeah.
I don't know if that's something we could send on to, but.
Actually, the district has done that too, so I will check and see if one of them wants to tie in on that one.
All right, so. I
I can
The
always
the woman who
disconnect.
gave us the presentation for Encore,
Sherry
She's
Norton.
great, yeah.
do you think
Sherry.
she might be willing to?
I don't
Is there a
know.
way that she could be set up in the garage?
We could certainly
there?
get
Like
a,
a screen and a
yeah.
laptop or something?
we
or-
could- Well, that's the thing, if we're just doing tables and such, we could just have a couple of laptops there for her to show people how this works.
Mhm.
People are always amazed when I literally show them that Encore exists,
free.
like, it's
I
like
know.
this,
Yeah.
Or the different things you can look up on it.
yeah.
It's an important resource.
Yeah. I'll
You want
ask
to reach
her.
out to her? Okay.
Were we still having local vendors coming to, for the local nursery? I know that was mentioned, or
We haven't, you know exactly as much as we all know, so we have that's what we need to figure
They're just
out.
all suggestions,
plans.
and we can do whatever.
Yeah,
So we're thinking talks as well as these displays.
I think that's the first question we need to answer. So we have some money, but I mean, it's around $900, a little over $900 to spend. But I don't know how far that gets us beyond printing some signs. Or we can always just hand make little posters.
I think the talks work better in this building than. the-
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, is that possible to utilize
I mean,
the
we
space
could,
over
there
here?
is a
for
conference room
talks and-
there. I think it'd be better if we've already got them over there, trying to get them over here, I think it's gonna be a little more difficult. There is a conference room there. If we wanted to do a talk, we could
Okay.
probably use that. I can ask Jim. I would assume it's not in
Yeah,
any use at that
okay.
point.
I mean,
But
that's the advantage over here would be you have multiple rooms, but it would be difficult for people to schlep from over there.
so my thought is I anticipate we could probably do this yearly.
Mhm.
And this would kind of be the first time doing this. For me, I don't know if people are more likely or less likely to come to speakers as
Yeah.
they would be to just kind of
Walk through.
wander through
Right.
and see what they can gain.
Yeah.
It's
Booths
Saturday.
and brochures.
Saturday
every
morning.
Saturday, yeah.
What are we
Donuts.
calling this?
Just environmental fair, I
Environmental
think.
fair.
Like, I would just call it an environmental fair.
should we reach
Unless
out to
anybody has a
Ag,
great
too, to
idea.
see if they wanted
Yeah.
to?
Reach out to
Yes.
whom? I'm sorry.
Ag.
Yeah,
ag,
Yeah.
Sounds
Mhm.
like a
Yeah.
deal.
And the tree committee.
yeah, absolutely, just everybody that would be involved.
Well, the
Parks.
Parks and Rec Conservation Team.
So maybe try a couple of talks using that conference room and just kind of seeing how that works for.
Well,
future
my question
planning.
is, if we're having somebody do a talk, do we need to pay them?
Probably not. I mean, the talks we're thinking of.
They don't
If they're environmentalists, then
Yeah, exactly. They'll
I
get
think the
paid.
open
They
house
want us to
layout
save
looked
money.
great, I thought,
The open
'cause there's a
house
lot of,
was
like,
really
depending
great.
on what the people were trying to get out of it, I mean,
Mhm.
we
Yeah.
had the people there that they could talk to, it was about like making those connections with like local resources.
Yeah, yeah.
Who we are, what we do. I mean, it'd be a good reminder event too, just to like the different boards and what their purposes are.
Yeah.
And they can all check off their box for what they're
Yeah.
supposed to do for the year,
Yeah.
basically too, by holding that.
Now, our ECB, we did composting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give our-
Yes.
And they were giving away the
yeah, I think we
food,
still
the
have
food,
those.
Bio
food
bags?
recycling,
No,
the
yeah,
little
little-
containers.
the little buckets.
Those
For
would be
the
great
food,
if we have
silver
any of those
buckets,
left
yeah.
to bring those back.
And then
have
there
set
was
up
the
to-
actual full-size yard.
Yes. mhm.
Oh, the.
We
yard
actually, I
ones?
think we
Yeah.
raffled,
We
raffled
raffled those
took
off,
some
yeah.
names and
Yeah.
pulled a
the
winner
Had a
vendors
drawing
to
for them or
to
the
something. yeah.
drawing,
Yeah.
whoever we got those
That's
from
Use
at
the
the
conservation
time.
easement too.
Yeah, I put that down, the conservation easement
It's
team.
not too short.
Did you
notice,
say the
it'd be
tree
good.
team?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
So we're envisioning
Kimberly-
all these groups will have a table.
Tables, yeah,
and,
tables
Well,
and
we'll have to-
maybe they'll have some kind of,
Yeah,
they'll be
I'm sure
willing to
Dennis will
do.
be thrilled.
yeah.
We're gonna need a big pool of corn too, again, because my son. I could
That's
not
right,
come
drive
out.
a little
That's
construction
great.
trucks
That's
in.
That's not a bad idea.
That
We
was
could do
fun.
it. Somebody's got corn in the truck kind of thing they want to do. They're welcome to.
Well, the fun on the farm this year is gonna be at Bob the Carlos farm.
Oh, is it? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow, when is that?
The
Hopefully not
the
October
24th
22nd.
of September. September, that was such a fun event.
I was just say, yeah, if anybody has the access to the corn in the truck, then feel free, that'll draw some attention for sure, so.
Done corn in the field.
So I just don't, I don't want to make it bigger than we can handle, you
Right.
know, so.
That's true.
So it's, because it's literally the people sitting in this room that are doing anything that needs to be done. So,
And
so,
then cleaning up everything.
so- and cleaning up everything that we're doing too,
I'd
yeah,
love to have the land trust people there,
yeah.
because they're a good one to merge in with like the PDR, the ag, and
Yeah,
the conservation easements.
Thank you for
Thank you.
jumping the
Yeah.
time.
Thank you.
Anybody have
See
a land trust connection already?
Sarah does. Sarah
Lynn-
Reynolds.
Sarah Reynolds, okay.
Yeah.
Do you want me or Kimberly, or who, how do we wanna?
I can talk to Sarah.
You wanna just?
Yeah, because I'll talk to her about the easement.
A lot of these outside groups too will also, they're ready for this and have their displays.
They have their-
Yes.
Setting up
Yes.
the table and area, just a
Mhm.
little,
So
you
there's
know,
no.
on our end, it was a little harder to get it set up and have the right equipment when we did it.
Well, and I think we should talk, somebody here needs to be talking about maybe signage or something like, I mean, right by the transfer station might be a great place to put something that's like, you know, dumping too much trash or looking to reduce your trash, come on over here, you know, something like that.
Oh,
So,
that's a great idea.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
We want to expand the audience to other county residents or,
Oh, it's open. I would say, if anybody has a problem, I think it's open to anybody.
yeah, yeah,
We'll advertise it on the new billboards too.
there you go.
that's
Cool.
Yeah,
right.
just. I'll
Yeah, the
make
talks
sure
are
that-
probably not a
What's that
good
up?
idea, I'm thinking, or maybe for a different
I
kind
think,
of
I
an
think it
event.
might be eventually,
Yeah.
if we can build like some folks that, and I think that's
Yeah.
why it's smart of her to come up with some kid ideas too, because that can make
Right.
somebody be like, Mom, I want to go back to that place and make
Yeah.
my
That's true.
Wonder Bread fossils or
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Well, Gabe always comes with me to the transfer station. It's a
Yeah,
big trip.
just have dog biscuits, everybody brings
Oh,
their
yeah.
dog.
They do. It's a social event.
Oh, yeah.
You
That's-
attend in your pajamas, that's the best part.
Yeah.
I always remember, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna see how many people are we gonna
Yep,
see.
yeah,
I need
that's
to not
right.
dress like a, you know.
So,
in my
Oh,
pajamas.
when you
Try
are
being
in
an elected
pajamas, it's
official.
fun to see.
You can't leave your house anymore.
It's horrible. Like, oh, hey, I gotta tell you this happened, and can you let your town board members know? Yeah, like I feel like I have to hide
So you got
sometimes.
big shades on.
Yeah.
baseball cap.
Mask.
I think the talks would work best if you actually had people that were a little deeper into
Yeah.
some of the subjects.
Well,
Rather
maybe a
than just,
separate, like a winter event.
Yeah,
we
we've
could-
done
we could
those
do
before
something and
too.
Just have and
yeah.
concurrent sessions and.
Well, and you know, we
Different.
might have some sort of spot on it that says, you know, we're considering bringing in a speaker. What kind of speaker would you be interested in? Like just have that as a survey for the people who are already walking in the
Yep,
door to
good
see is there an
idea.
area that they're missing, you know?
Yeah, and you give something away to get
Yeah.
their opinion, because that's how that works best.
Mhm.
A little raffle.
Okay.
Yeah, people always like something
Mhm.
free,
People love free stuff.
but if that way you can capture.
Now, do we
And,
still have, I don't know, Kimberly, if in your many, many roles you've had any time to check on this, but do we still have any of the compost bins and bags?
I don't know.
We don't know.
I don't know either. I feel like
So,
we do.
I think the
Let's,
town clerk was. in
I think
charge of
yeah,
that.
she
has
is currently,
She might know.
but how, what do we have to do, Kimberly, to get that going? for
I will
you?
ask about the compost if Jean has those.
Well, because
If you want,
we
y-
talked
that's a
about
Doug
Kimberly
thing.
having
Did you talk to
a,
Doug yet?
an extra job role of being the
Right.
composting queen.
That
Which I think was the actual official title of the job role.
Compost technician.
Mm.
When you do find them, I will take links, that's something that, it's on my to-do list for the
Yeah.
summer.
We do still have the bio bags, I believe. We can ask.
I
at
think we have the
at
little
town clerk.
buckets.
But I mean, we could, obviously, we can't give one to every single person who walks in the door, but that might be.
Yeah, I
The
know, the last
raffle.
time we did it was like, what was it, a donation? It was basically,
I think
we had
so.
the
I
large
think it was a
box ones,
donation.
yeah, but like, I forgot the cost, but it was like a certain percentage the town resident paid for, and it was, the town had paid for a portion of it.
For the buckets or the big
Both,
ones?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. Well, let's figure that answer out.
Buckets are great, they lasted. I inherited one too.
nice.
Vintage buckets.
Yeah,
I have one too. Okay, so does everybody have something that they're doing on this already? So Edith is talking to Cornell Cooperative Extension about rain barrels and soil and water things.
I'm
Shauna, you're
talking-
talking to Sarah about the land trust and conservation easement team.
And Sherry Norton, JS.
And Sherry, yeah. And Kimberly, you're gonna email Park and Rec and Ag and Tree and Conservation Easement Team about coming and when it is. Oh, we need to, let's nail down time. What time do you
Yeah.
guys want? Do you want to do, like I said, so there, it's open 8 to noon is when the transfer station is open. We can really have it any, I said to him, I don't know, probably somewhere between 8 and 2. So do we want to go past when the transfer station's open? Do we
I-
want to open it
I
up
would.
at 8? What do you want to do?
I'm one of
10 to
those
2.
people that get there right
Mhm.
before it closes.
Yes.
So is everybody else.
So what would you
Does it go 10 to
suggest?
10 to 2, but we could, we'll have to set up, soon, you know, set up earlier in the morning or
Yeah.
what have you, but
Right.
officially 10 to 2, maybe,
I'm open to any time that makes sense to everybody on the
I
committee.
like that time.
10 to 2.
Yeah, that's early. If people are gonna be bringing kids, they take a while to get up and moving.
Yeah,
yeah, and people that don't want to deal with the crowds, they can get there and they'll have their time to get there.
Yes, there are a lot of people there between 8 and 10, just so you know. They are,
That is busy.
especially at like 8:03. There's a lot of people there.
So I can tell you, 11:55.
It's very busy. That's
Oh,
my
yeah.
husband's usual time, so.
Mhm.
10:45 to 11 is a good slot.
So we're good with 10 AM to 2 PM.
Yes.
All right, so in your emails to those committees, I would
Mhm.
indicate it's 10 AM to 2 PM. And can you CC Jim Fletcher on that, just so he's aware?
Okay,
I'm gonna figure out what's up with our compost situation. I'm gonna call Jim and see if we can also get the conference room in there if we need to.
there might be some town of Canandaigua handouts there left over from the open house, maybe there were
Okay.
like metal water bottles back then. And
Would you open
there
that?
might be a little, there were,
You mean
Oh,
when
yeah,
we
we
opened
did.
up
There was a
the,
bunch of
maybe like
swags,
keychains, there might be
swags,
something, who was working with Jim at the time?
you mean for the opening of the
a young
facility?
woman.
Joyce was doing a lot of.
No, it
it.
wasn't Joyce, it
Oh.
was Jim's like assistant at the time
Oh,
before,
Caitlin?
before Kate.
Before Caitlin.
But she
don't know who
handled
that
so
was.
many things but there was like a table full of Canandaigua things.
Swag,
Was
merch.
it Kate
Yeah.
Silverstone?
Yeah, merch.
Was it Kate Silverstone?
Yeah, oh, maybe, wasn't she over there
She was
before
over there before
Caitlin?
Caitlin.
Kate Jensen?
Maybe
Kate
it was
Silverstone.
Caitlin. Well, anyway, there might still be
October
some
22nd,
items
10 to
stored
2.
somewhere
and
that,
you call it the highway barn,
Highway Garage.
highway garage.
I think for our table, can I set up something, since we're making the push for planting natives, like, instead of this? plant this,
Oh my
plant
gosh, that's a
this,
great
Please,
idea.
yes.
Give people an idea.
And I think the tree team's supposed to have a list of, so hopefully by then that'll be ready to go.
We'd love to have something like that.
That you can
Yeah,
hand
just
out
send
as
it to you.
well.
Okay, great.
What do you want to do?
well, you know,
You want to figure out rain barrels or
Yeah.
lake friendly lawn care?
Well, I was
for us,
wondering, you know, New York Forest Owners Association does
the
does
Master
little does booths at different fairs and
Okay.
stuff, and maybe having them come in and set up a table. I mean, I could contact them, but I'm, happy to do other stuff.
We could do seedlings too. If we want to spend money on seedlings, we could do seedlings,
So another option too would be to get wildflower seed packs.
that too.
Because I think that might be better
I-
for planting at
For
that point.
fall rather than seedlings.
Yeah, because it might be a little late for the trees.
It's actually a great time to plant a tree in
But
October.
there's another option. I know you can get like.
Then you don't have to worry about
individual seed
water.
packs. relatively cheap in some of the places I go through.
Yeah,
How to
you
make
could,
your own seed bombs or something like
Yeah,
that?
they even have seed bombs if you want to like.
I don't even know what a seed bomb is. You
So what
guys,
is
you
a
guys
seed
can test
bomb?
stuff on me because I'm
Literally
not the environmental.
just like
person.
Paper, or yeah, or it's multiple, or it's paper that's sort of packed together.
Oh,
with
and the
seeds,
little-
then you throw it, and when water or other things hit it, it bursts, and you got a bunch of seeds.
Sounds like a plan, make that.
That sounds
That's
like a
good
kid would love
activity,
that.
too.
Yeah,
They're
that
really
is a
cool
great
kid
kid
activity.
Especially
activity.
being called a seed bomb, that
Anything.
sounds
Yeah,
like
the kids can get
something.
their hands like in stuff.
Sounds like something we can put on the signs. Make your own
Make your
fossils
own
and seed bombs.
That's a great idea.
Any kid that can read is gonna be like, what is that?
Yeah.
There's no like, so
That sounds like
Seed
a.
bomb.
there's a company out of Vermont that I know they do for fundraisers and stuff. You can print it out and have your information on there if you want it. And they're relatively inexpensive. so.
Because we do have, yeah, I mean, we have money in our budget.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, like, if, I mean, we should probably have
We need
some
to
sort of
buy-
small refreshments, I would say, something
Mhm.
there.
So we could do
and-
like apple cider or something
Yeah,
good for
that's
that
a
time
good
of year,
idea.
and
Oh,
like
good
little
idea.
donut holes or something, or donuts for that
Oh,
season.
when is Halloween in Ononda?
Oh,
The following weekend?
I hope so, so.
I don't know. Is
Can
it
you
on
send a
Monday
note?
first?
You know what? Nobody's claimed anything yet. Can you send the email and add special events committee to your email, please? And then
I
guess
was just
what?
thinking
We got
that.
it first.
Oksana, right?
I
That
purposely-
Oksana's thing?
There
Yeah.
is another Saturday before Halloween, and it's usually the Saturday right before Halloween. That's why I grabbed the 22nd, because I figured it would not conflict with 29th.
I bet the
So-
29th is.
That was my assumption, that that's what
Yep.
they would be doing, because it's usually right before, they usually do it like almost like an alternative trick or treat
Mhm.
event. So I would imagine they've got the 29th. That's why I was thinking
Locked in.
22nd would be good. But yeah, we probably should include special events committee on it anyway, so that they're aware. But yeah, Kimberly, if you can send a note to the chair. I think, is it still Oksana that's chairing special events, or is
Is it
it?
Mark or is he just Parks and Rec?
He's just Parks and Rec, but it's gotta be either Oksana or it might be Linda.
I thought I was gonna say one or the other woman. I can't remember her name.
Joyce, Martha?
No,
the-
younger.
I know the joint board meeting, joint, whatever we had, Oksana.
That's-
Oh, no, there was that other thing we had. where we talked
Yeah,
about a lot of stuff.
Yep,
Oksana was the one that presented.
that was the.
Jean will know who the chair is for sure of special events.
The
committee.
website's up to date.
Yeah, that too. So I would do it based on that then too. So, but just include Oksana somewhere because she'll, no matter what, she's at least involved with special events committee and we probably want to know what's going on too. So, but yeah, that's why I was thinking October 22nd, because I
Yeah.
figured they'd do 29th. So,
Mhm.
but, okay, yeah. So yeah, I think that's a good idea. Apple cider, some donut
Either like
holes.
donut holes, yeah, like just like regular cinnamon or powdered sugar ones are good.
Yeah.
For that time of year.
Yeah, we can
Like
do,
the-
that's a
the
good idea.
They're
wildflower
delicious.
seeds.
Oh, yeah, we know.
yeah.
That's a
It's
great
nice.
idea.
Um,
And then we'll need some cups.
So,
Ah, yeah.
If you
American
need someone to man
Meadows.
that table,
Yeah.
I have experience.
And that might be
why?
something,
Random
that might be
coffee shop.
something that
Nice.
I, as,
Nice.
that might be a good spot for me, since I don't know anything about any environmental bombs.
I can help with that too, but I don't
We'll
have
figure it
anything for me at the moment, so if you need someone
You
to
order
do
bulk
that,
and-
let me know.
Well, I'm looking, at this point, I'm looking for people to make sure everybody's got something to, I think we should have a table on reducing carbon footprint, so I don't know,
I would be happy to do that.
okay.
You could also just give them links to all those different websites that people can calculate their carbon footprints too.
That's right. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
just
and
sent
they can
it-
see-
Maybe
Yeah,
include
you
something
did.
in there about why trees are good. Like something
Oh
like
my
that.
gosh. Like.
Shauna, you could have a tale about if you're building a house, this is why you keep the
Stop cutting
trees.
down your trees.
that's for the tree
Why
committee,
setbacks are important
Trees have
by
feelings.
Shauna.
Yes.
Sounds like we're getting a Lorax suit for this.
I was just
or-
gonna-
That's what we can raffle off of a Lorax book or
Lorax or
something.
the
We could do
Giving
that.
Tree. We could do that.
Both are staples in our house. We'll see how it works.
Yes.
out.
We'll see what happens. Okay, so are we good for now? Everybody feel like they're doing something or other to?
I don't
to
know what
work
I'm
on
doing.
this?
If someone
Um,
wants to throw me somewhere, they can throw me somewhere.
I thought you were doing the seed
I
bombs.
didn't know if
Seed
you wanted,
bombs.
Seed bomb tape. No, I'm gonna do the native, not invasive.
then I
You're
can
the
totally
seed
do
bomb
seed
table.
bombs.
You can also be a person that helps set up.
You're the
tables,
refresh, you could be
so.
refreshments
I am
too.
very strong. I
Yes.
lift 20 to 40 pounds constantly
you
with
do.
cases, so.
Actually, you're lifting 40 to 50, those
Some of
champagne
those,
cases
yes.
are 50. I've
Especially-
weighed them on my scale at home before.
The champagne ones that have
The
15
punts, oh, they're
in them
awful.
instead of 12 is
Oh, they're awful.
heavy.
Or those
Stupid glass.
Carla Rossi. Anyway, moving on.
Jugs.
I'm sorry, I keep yawning. It's been a long
No,
day
it
today.
has
been a long day.
Excuse me.
Okay,
I don't
And
usually
look
yawn
at
this much.
Kimberly's list, choose something from there.
Take something
Maybe
out
I'll do-
first.
maybe I'll- If I get a compost barrel and start it at home.
Yeah.
Then I can do a little demonstration.
Oh, that's a
Basically,
good
hey, I
idea.
can do this, anybody can.
yeah,
That would be good.
But you can get hands-on and work through it.
And definitely go to the Cornell Cooperative Extension, because we had them at our open house, and like, there's a wealth of information. you can get from them on it.
yeah, and
Or just the
Edith
website.
would be a good resource for
Yeah.
that too. She
Yes.
would know.
Okay.
That
'Cause
woman
they
is
had a whole
a
deal
fount
that
of
they brought
knowledge.
out here for it, for display.
Oh, okay.
So, but on the actual event day, I just, obviously we'll need to figure out tables and, set up and take down.
We
and
can probably do
We
that.
could probably all
Friday.
plan to be
I
there,
could probably do it, work
or
on
we can
that
get there at like
Friday.
8:30 or something and figure it out, so.
Yeah, I'll give them a call.
Okay,
And then make an
weird
appointment and
question,
see if-
Sean.
Sure.
Would this count towards our hours that we need for here?
Shoot an email to
No.
Edith
Okay,
first.
cool.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I just wanted to clarify.
And show them
Um,
from the last
If
time.
everybody can plan to be there though, for at least either setup or takedown or some, if you're doing something, obviously be there, that would be super helpful, so.
Alrighty.
Okay, so now we need to go back to the pile of
Memo.
stuff that we were going through with the ECB memo. Sorry. I'm sorry, I know it's 6:30, but,
We're gonna charge overtime.
Well, I thought people were gonna like.
Yeah.
Read it on
Read
the
it
online.
I just meant because we had interrupted it. So these were in relation to the memo, the other,
All the
the
attachments.
the attachments.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's all. in
And they're
relation to that.
cross-referenced in your
Yep,
memo. They're-
yep,
it's
I've
great.
got other documents that will be included.
Okay, so if everybody can go through those, read it all and send any notes back. And then we can discuss what we officially want to have as a memo at the September meeting. 'Cause I
And
can't
we'll be
believe it's
providing
August.
kind of path forward stuff to present with the town board, I guess. with, Constructive ways we can work with them, basically.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
I think you should provide that with
Mhm.
the memo.
Yeah,
Yeah. okay.
exactly.
Mm.
It's always better to identify methods of partnering
Opportunities.
and opportunities
So, yeah,
rather
we're
than
the same team at
plain.
the end of the day, so.
Yeah,
Strategic communication.
well, and I mean, we are not as fully aware of what the ZBA has to look at as they are. I mean, they have very specific laws and regulations that they're trying to follow as a legal board too, so they might be, it might be nice to hear from them, why decisions are made too, and what's going into their consideration as well.
And those are continually being updated and revised and reviewed.
Yeah.
Now, those were, they do the 5 tests.
Yes, the
though,
5
right?
tests, yeah.
Yeah.
Which, if you aren't familiar with them, Sarah Linda goes through them in her letter very clearly, so.
Are we bringing up the redistricting too for the other side of the lake or no?
You mean rezoning?
That's still on the ordinances to-do list.
Mhm. Ordinance to-do list is pretty,
It's very
long
long.
right about now, so. That's another
I
meeting
think it
too,
gets
if you ever,
longer all the time.
if you ever feel like popping into a meeting, that's a
That's a good
good one to pop into. And if you're ever interested in what's going on with the town board agenda, it took me almost until the time I got on the town board to recognize that the finance meeting before the town board meeting actually goes through the agenda pretty much and explains everything happening in it. So if you're ever wondering why something's on the agenda for the town board meeting, check out that finance committee meeting. So.
Or why they didn't talk about it. basically,
Because they've already answered the
did.
questions, yeah.
Mhm.
I've been trying to, if there was a question we asked in finance, I've been trying to at least bring up what the answer was in the town board meeting, thereby making the town board meetings longer and really making everybody enjoy my presence on the town board.
I mean, it's a lot of work if you're doing it all at the town meeting.
Yeah.
Who chairs the ordinance committee
I think it's
That
John
is
now.
chaired by John Casey.
from the ZBA.
Yes,
Yeah, and I'm a committee member now on ordinance, so. Okay, so local history team, do we need to say anything about that right now, or can we move on for the tree in the town, the tree team and the history team?
That would have been Edith.
Yes,
And tree team is, we went to all the cemeteries, identified trees that were in crisis, sent that all to Lindsay and Leif in the cemetery committee.
yes. Don't forget
And-
Karen DeMay as well.
What's that?
Don't forget Karen DeMay
Yeah.
with anything for the cemetery committee. She's sharing that as well.
And Edith does all the correspondence. She's really good with that.
Great.
Takes all the minutes and sends all the emails. And the other thing we're looking down the road is just the, it's gonna be kind of fun, a heritage tree program where
That's cool.
really big, beautiful, old trees with a lot of distinctive characteristics that are identified. And
Do you know the one
showcase.
in Lakewood Meadows? Do you know that one?
No, I don't.
I'll tell you later.
Yeah.
So,
Is it
yeah.
just within the town park? or is this for any-
oh, and the
Oh, within
parks,
the town.
so people
the
can
town.
submit their tree,
Yeah,
that's cool.
Oh, okay.
so we'll be putting that together this fall and it should be kind of fun.
Have to
Yeah,
get
that'll be
Fuji in
really
there.
neat.
Actually, that would be a nice thing to have at the event is some pictures of some of those.
Wow.
That's a really
Heritage
good
trees.
idea.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Man.
Synchronicity here.
Noodles going here. Forget composting, man.
You could do half of your table.
That's something the
compost.
tree team might be able to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe the tree team.
Yeah, they might want to have a table. so,
Yeah, their
yeah.
heritage.
We'll just have to move more trucks out, more tables.
There's actually a ton of room in the
There's a
area. We're
lot.
gonna
It's so
be at the
big.
beginning
Yeah.
of the garage. I don't think, we're probably actually
That's
not
kind
gonna
of
be in the
fun. You
truck
get to see
area, but
big
the
old
area
trees
next to the
that
truck area.
Have
so.
history.
Would we like bring our posters
Yeah.
out?
People-
could.
people
Or
get
some of
involved.
them, I mean,
I don't know how much I'm
we have
scared to
two
bring
tables.
things out of
I
this
think-
room.
I think we may have had some
Yeah,
at open
Wow.
house, but I can't
I'll
totally
run
remember.
that by the
What open house?
the
Oh,
tree team.
the,
I'll send them
The
an
18
email.
open house,
who was it?
when the
Yeah.
highway barn got opened.
That's
That would
pre
be fun.
Shauna.
That's pre-me.
It is for you.
But I bet they. I
But
bet
it was
you
a
did.
nice-
There's
it was
quite
a
few
really
people
nice,
down, beautiful tree. I
um,
think that's-
morning or day or-
Plus we'll get free pictures of the
heated?
trees and see how stressed out they are. or what
October's not too
diseases
bad.
might be there.
People have
Hopefully
close
we
eye.
won't need
Have a
anything,
clue.
you know, it was a summer-ish
Yeah.
event just then.
You could also-
It was early
Look at their
June.
tree in a different way. It's
That's
nice.
nice.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
One other quick thing too, in case everybody's not aware, there are town tree sponsorships available now, so you can purchase a tree in honor or memory or just for fun.
Cool.
I think it's $400 to be planted in one of the town parks. You can't choose the location. You can choose the park, but not the location. So
You choose the tree that you're planting?
I'm not sure. I would touch base. Who is it, Lindsay?
I think it's Lindsay.
I think it might be Lindsay that's managing that, so.
They were doing benches.
I was
for a
gonna say
Yeah,
the
while.
benches
It's
too.
benches and trees now,
Benches
and
and
both
trees.
are about $400.
benches
Is there a
are neat.
package if you get one of each?
You get tree for
They're
half off.
basically, so the benches actually were my idea on the Parks Committee.
And a water bed.
They're
$500
basically,
donation,
the cost of
At least.
putting it in is essentially what you're paying, so there's
Yeah.
not gonna be a
Yeah, you
discount.
need that shape for your bench.
Yeah, you
Like,
gotta
if
That's
you
a
get
great
both of
idea.
them, you could,
I don't know how big the trees are yet, but I do recommend the benches. I have one in Outhouse Park that's a lot of fun whenever I'm wandering around there. So
Where is
it's-
yours?
Do you like
Over-
to go by and visit
I
your
do
bench?
visit my
Yeah,
bench
bench.
because it's in memory of my parents, so it's
Aw,
over
that's
by
nice.
the Civic Center, so.
Is it
So-
by Tom Schwartz's bench? Do you know?
I don't know. It's,
Okay.
it's literally looking kind of at the Civic Center / that pond over there.
Oh,
so
that's
my-
nice.
So, yeah, because my dad used to coach soccer and my mom knew nothing about soccer. So it says hustle, no bunching, which is what my dad would always say, and get a score, which is what my mom said at
Get a
every sporting
score.
event she ever went to, because she didn't know what,
Understand
how it
it.
worked. So she'd just say.
Get a score.
Okay, so how's everybody doing with their training? Are we all keeping up with it, fulfilling our training
I got work to
goals?
do.
Need,
Edith
More
Davy is
training
leading,
ideas.
just so you all know.
Who-
Edith.
Edith is,
Oh, yeah.
she's the one who certainly needs
Yeah, she
training
sets
more
the
than any of
bar and
us.
she doesn't need any more for her lifetime probably. She
You
doesn't.
receive those when we do something, it goes to you or who?
You send them to me, I'll give it to Allison, she
Okay.
keeps track of it.
When
Just
we
a
had our
reminder, we
training
have-
here, several of us.
We
took
got
the
5
points there, I
hours,
think, So
I think, that day.
So
if you
I'm
were
good.
here,
That's right.
You're good.
Yeah. and
I
we
usually
have-
Mary,
worry
you're
about it
here,
in the middle of December.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Just a reminder, there are 3+ months remaining in the year, believe it or not, now that we're in August.
I know already,
So,
So this is for 2002.
for this year,
for this year, yeah.
four points you need. 4
It's how you
hours.
get the big bucks with the ECB salary.
Yes,
Yeah.
then you get a
Going out for training.
raise,
So
3%.
at least you're on the committee. I don't even get the big bucks in the ECB.
This is part of your hourly.
That's right. That's right. My $5,000 a year town board salary. Also in the big bucks world. So anyway, any other questions, concerns, or anything anybody's wondering about before we close? All right.
So
Somebody-
basically for the next meeting, we'll have all this arranged set up so that we can go over the finals for the October 22nd.
For the memo, yes, for this, hopefully, I don't think we're gonna be ready to go completely in September, but hopefully everybody will be coming back with some plans and more concrete ideas, and I'll confirm what we're working with space-wise and, table-wise and things like that, so I think in September, that's when we're gonna actually be saying more specific plan, and we can,
Yeah, we might need to bring some of these over.
yeah, I'll
We'll
talk to
we'll
Jim and
talk,
see what they
yeah,
have.
because Parks and Rec can do that for us.
Yeah,
And we have our own presentation stuff, right? I think we got that when we did the open house or right after that, our own stuff for putting up the boards and stuff like that.
I don't know.
With that.
I
know
Do
we're
we have
relying-
easels? Is that what you
Okay,
mean?
yeah, because we're relying on like Edith for a bunch
We
of
have
stuff.
2
for-
Yeah,
easels.
she did have a bunch. Well, if we need to make posters, or, I mean, Michael's has
Right.
more reasonable boards.
Yeah, I think that's where we'd be spending money, other than.
Right.
If we need
Supplies.
some food,
supplies,
Some
yeah.
poster supplies, so.
Edith did have a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
'cause she-
My church has easels too that we can.
Okay.
borrow as
We
well,
have
so.
2. We can use Quick Print on Main Street if we need any big.
Mhm.
Remember, she's pulled out like she had like packages you undid it. with
She
everything you need
did.
for a presentation.
So,
Everything.
Like a
maybe-
little-
That would be
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I
Of
was
course
just
she
there.
did.
Maybe when everybody comes back, then in September, we can have suggestions if you need
Okay.
a poster printed or
Mhm.
thoughts of what
Or
our
we need to
poster
get
should
that.
I might
say.
need some stuff for this, to give the seeds for the seed bombs. So
Yeah. Okay.
I'll look that up though.
I
Well,
think
if
here
you,
it has
if
all
you
the
find what
posters
you
stashed away.
want, you can send it to me.
There is something
Okay.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
there
have
is
a
storage.
crash that I wanna
Yeah.
do for it or something, or do you want it to be pre-made, or do you think it'd be cooler to have people make their
Make
own?
it.
They'll, it'd be cool to make
I know,
it.
like, if you want some ideas, you go to Fruition, down in Naples, she
Yeah.
does the seed bombs.
I feel like I could, it's
Oh,
pretty
she's
easy
still
to pick up
amazing.
materials
She
you
is.
can
She's
use.
sweet.
I don't even know
She's
what
really
that is.
nice. She's a seed company. in
Yeah, some
Naples.
Oh, the seed.
Fruition
company, yeah,
seeds.
yeah, yeah.
Some finished products already.
Anybody want to make a motion to close the meeting or we
Sorry,
keep
yeah.
chatting?
I-
Make the motion.
Motion to close, I second. Motion. One of us did it first.
Okay, all in favor?
Hi.
Keep talking amongst yourselves.
Go home and make sure no one thinks this is late.
Yeah, it is.
My roommate.